Hello, my name is Netara, and this is going to be an event submission video for the Final Fantasy VII PC Any percent run, specifically free FPS. And before I start, what that means is there's two different categories for this particular run, and there's basically the same. There is a fix which can be implemented for this game, which ensures that you will always have the same FPS in like the cutscenes and on the field to make sure all the different times are consistent across the leaderboard. However, as that can be a bit problematic to install sometimes, and for folks who are just learning, it's not so easy or not so fun to do. They also have a lovely free FPS category on the leaderboards where you can still submit your times, and it's just with everyone else who has variable FPS times. So, that being said, this is the run I am going to be doing. As you can see, I have no save files in Save 1, which is going to be relevant for this particular category. So, that being said, let us get this run started. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So, this particular category of Final Fantasy VII PC is unique because you cannot actually do all of the tricks that we're going to be doing in this run on the disc versions, either the PC disc version or the PlayStation versions, or even the PlayStation 4 version. It includes some really fun tricks. I'll try and point out which ones are this particular version of the game specific and which ones work across the different versions of this game. There was a new trick discovered, or a new skip discovered recently, which works across all of the platforms, where we skip an entire dungeon for this game. So I will be showing that off during the run, and it's actually fairly early into the run, so it won't be too long before we get to see that. Like with all Final Fantasy games, or many of them, especially the early ones, there are many cutscenes, and not all of them are skippable. So we're gonna have a time. We are gonna relax here together, have some fun speedruns, and enjoy some beautiful cutscenes, and of course, the gorgeous music that comes along with games such as Final Fantasy VII. So let us enjoy ourselves. This game has about a 5-minute intro, 4 to 5 minute intro, all the different cutscenes, but actually I don't think it is that long. I'm looking at my timer and I'm like, it can't be 4 to 5 minutes because we're about to see some trains. But it does take quite a while even just to name the first characters. But nevertheless, it is not a super slow moving speedrun, and we're going to be doing some really super fun techniques in order to finish this game in hopefully under 3 hours. World record for this category, I believe, is 2 hours and about 37 minutes. So let's see if we can get, I'm nowhere close to that, but let's see where we can go. Especially once we start beating up all of these guards. How dare they try and block my progress into this reactor? Newcomer. I resemble that remark. So we're gonna of course set memory, cursor, ATB is gonna be active, and we want all of our speeds to be fast. So get those set up real quick so we can go. This battle is unfortunately unavoidable, but there is no strategy. You just hit each of the enemies once and they die, so it is whole day to win. One of the beautiful things about memory, cursor, and this game is there'll be a lot of commands and things we'll be setting up in advance, so as long as we're paying full attention and make sure we have the correct commands selected, everything's gonna go just fine. Not that we've had any such experiences with other things happening at all, ever. Okay, so these are the lovely NPCs who are part of the group Avalanche. We are trying to destroy this reactor to save the planet, and our main character, Cloud, or C as we call him, is just here for the dollars. wants to be paid. So we are naming all of the characters that we get the opportunity to name one character names in order to save time, as all the text in this game scrolls. So the shorter the names are, the quicker things go. That being said, one of the donation incentives, which I tend to offer for this game, includes naming any of the naming characters. So that does cut into a little bit of time in the run, but it doesn't lose very much time at all. And it's a lot of fun. People love their naming incentives. So we are going to run from any encounter that we experience, I think basically in the game. Any experience we need, we will get from the different bosses which we'll be fighting. So no real reason to fight any of the random encounters except for the forced ones, which that one was not. So B here is trying to tell us that we need to care about the planet. It's being destroyed, but he doesn't really trust us yet, so he's gonna come with us. Make sure that, you know, we're on the ball. We're gonna follow Jessie in. She knows where she's going. Plus, she knows how to open the doors, which I'm a huge fan of. Okay. Got it. Got it, Jessie. I have pushed the button. So one of the things about this particular HD remaster is it's never been quite proven whether they've added them in or whether they were always there and just uncovered. But all of the NPCs now have these wide open mouths, which they did not have previously. And all of the main characters have had their faces kind of tuned up and shinied up a bit, other than some of the enemy bosses have some funny things going on with eyes on occasion, so that's always really kind of neat to see, being like, what is wrong with that character's eyes? Something fun you'll notice is basically every monster in Midgar, which is the opening area of this game, either has spikes, guns, or propellers. Like, I don't know what Shinra was thinking when they were designing this stuff, but they are just not doing too cool here. Someone on their design team probably needs to be fired. Though maybe the biggest problem is that they actually have monsters, so let's not judge too much on the design choices in that case. Bigger problems. So you're going to see there's a lot of items, or throughout the run there's going to be a fair amount of items just lying on the ground, and there's a few different categories of items which we'll be picking up. Items which are in our way and we have to pick up just to progress, items which we need for actual like equipping, and items we're going to pick up to sell. Money routing is incredibly important for this run. We are going to be picking up some grenades soon, and making sure you have enough grenades are really important. So items like that restore materia kind of fall into two categories. It is both in our way, but also incredibly useful. So we're pretty okay with picking up that item. But with that, we have hit our first boss. We want to blow up this reactor, and for some weird reason, Shinra wants to protect it. So they have set it up, so there's someone here to attempt to stop us. So with that, it is our first boss, and first boss is Guard Scorpion. So big thing about this boss is we just need to hit it. We don't have any special powers or anything like that. Bolt from Cloud, regular hitting from Barret. And the strategy used to be a little bit different before the skip was found, because we were purposely building up limit gauges for future fights. But the next boss fight, or what used to be the next boss fight, is now skipped. So rather than having to conserve limit gauges like we previously had to, we're going to use up any limit gauges which happen to build up in this fight on this fight. So limit gauges, we usually build them up for two reasons in this run. Either because we want to have them to use them in particular battles, which is usually not why we're doing it, occasionally, or because it saves time in a battle, because as soon as you build up a limit, your ATB bar will charge incredibly quickly. So we are going to, this boss has a counterattack mechanic where once it puts its tail up, anytime you attack it, it is going to counterattack. And so we are going to be attacking this boss on purpose in order to build up those aforementioned limit gauges. So it's going to counterattack, and then we're going to attack, and it's going to be fabulous. So, and that also gives things... Oops. Usually you wait on that, so you don't waste the damage on this, but that will help build up Cloud's limit gauge to be a little bit higher again. So damage is not a huge thing here. We have more than enough HP to go, so we're gonna build it up. So Barret's Big Shot does a lot more damage than just a regular physical attack, so it is an incredible boon for Barret at least to be able to do that. While Bolt does plenty of damage on this boss. Oh no, going to attack Cloud. It's if you get a chance, boss. And alas, Barret Scorpion did not get a chance. So, while there's still things to be done for this boss, still quite an easy boss to start with. And with that, we have a whole 10 seconds, and by seconds I mean minutes, to escape. Plenty of time. We don't even need to cure because the enemies which we're going to encounter on the way out just simply don't do enough damage to be any sort of worry. So, plus we're not going to fight enough of the encounters either. And 10 minutes is more than enough time, especially where we're running away from everything. So it's just a matter of getting out as quickly as we can. Mashing the button as you come across stairs can really save some time. So this is a potion that we're picking up purely because it is in the way. We need to save Jessie, so she will be available to open one of the doors we need to escape. If you do not pick her up there, you do have to come all the way back for her, which really stretches out those 10 minutes quite a bit, which we don't want at all. And now it is time for the true boss of the game, Stairs. Back attack? That's rude. But as you can see, threatening amounts of damage. While we run away. Now, one thing you don't want to do in these elevators once you've hit that button is to continue mashing, because once you can hit that button again and it will go back down, which is not what you want whatsoever. These enemies just don't want us to leave. Rude. And they're gonna take their time trying to hurt us. It's not very nice. Yeah, some of the things in the HD remix, or the kind of remake here, it's not a full remake, it's just a remaster, have really been made incredibly pretty and a lot crisper and clearer, but some things, like many of the backgrounds, really show their age. Unfortunately, making some parts nice and crisp and clear really just showed all the pixels and terribleness for other things. So of course, like any game, we are going to mash as much as we can to save every little second. One of the things which also matters in this run, less so now that we've found the skip, is knowing which text options to select, as some of them have some actual consequences, usually just in time, but sometimes they can hurt your run. One of them we do now skip with the newfound skip that we'll be doing shortly. And by shortly, I mean after a series of cutscenes. But one of the options, most of the time, thankfully in this run, it's just mash your button, select the top option, it is the fastest. So in this case, we're telling this poor flower girl that she best get out of the way, it's dangerous. Mostly because we don't have time to help her or buy flowers. We're escaping, we're fugitives. So we didn't want that particular potion, so we're leaving it behind. Other things we don't want to do is fight these soldiers. So we have 3 different text boxes. or text options here, and one of the worst things you can do is is to fight them. You certainly can fight them, and they're not a challenge, but time consuming. That is minutes gone. And while most of this run comes down to skill and knowing what you're doing, there are a few really heavy RNG or luck factors in the later game which cannot be manipulated. So you want to make sure you save as much time and keep as on pace as possible in the early game to help kind of mitigate any of that bad luck which you can possibly get. And I will absolutely explain those sections once we get to them. So, but for now, we're on a train. And this poor terrorist party of Avalanche is just like, oh, C never showed up. That's too bad. I wish he'd stay. And B's like, no, we don't need him. We're better off without C. B is just, using anger to hide his sadness that he feels deep inside. We know. Oh, hey, look who it is. C, who loves stabbing people with his hair. Like, look at that hair. It is dangerous. You could hurt someone with that. Poke someone's eye out. It's taller than his head, actually, when you look at it. But Barret's like, whatever. We're here. Barret tries to act like he's got the attitude, but he's the one with the heart of gold. The one who really has an attitude is C here. C's not the nicest person at the beginning. And as far as this speedrun will tell you, he does not get any better. Oh, character development? What's that? But for now, we have things to do on a train. Which involve, scaring random people. And generally speaking, being as suspicious as possible. And being totally shocked. Look at Jessie's face. She is so shocked. So is that business person. Look at them. So shocked. No, I don't want to talk to you, Wedge. Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you either. There is a skip that it is possible to do where you talk to that guard who I triggered and Jessie at the same time, referred to as the Jessie skip. Now it only saves a couple of seconds and you really only have one try of it, because once you have a triggered Jessie's text, she goes on. There's no way to redo it. So even the pros, the absolute world record holders in this category often can't get the Jessie skip. So I usually, for the 1 or 2 seconds it saves, I don't even worry about it. There are many other things which are much more important than the Jessie skip. Sometimes you just gotta talk to Jessie. She's there lonely and trying to be helpful. And Barret's just, grumpy. He's fine. Don't worry about it. So, but one of the reasons I bring up the Jessie skip is there's going to be a few different skips in this game which are triggered by activating 2 different types of text boxes at once. Activate text box, you press A or the affirmative button to talk to someone. And a motion triggered text box where you move into a certain space and a text box pops up. So if you can manage to trigger both types of text box at once, it kind of breaks things and allows you to move in cutscenes and parts of the game where you should not be able to move. And we're going to take advantage of that in multiple spaces here. So some to small effect and some to very great effect. So again, I will point out all areas of that. But for now, it's time to regroup, chat with the rest of our team. It's going to tell us time to go to the hideout. We'll talk some more because we have more wonderful schemes and plans to blow up reactors on our plate. So be prepared for a chance of a lifetime. So everyone here likes to gather right in front of the bar. So rather than trying to chase through all of those people, the instant I get control again, I'm leaving. I'm leaving the screen, and we're going to come back. So, and by doing that, we clear out everyone and just get Barret, who as soon as we talk to will very nicely move out of the way. See, just heart of gold, that Barret. Heart of gold. And that brings us to our next lovely character, and a kind of another mechanic I find with this game, which is whenever you need a plot to continue, try and leave. It solves all problems. But first, we're going to name the ever lovely T. So who's glad everyone's safe and Cloud's done. Cloud just wants to leave, but alas, that triggers more plot. So leaving is not a thing he gets to do. Barret's back with his adorable 4-year-old daughter. Please note how small, cute, and young she is. It certainly won't become relevant shortly. It's not really that relevant. It's just a little amusing. Okay, down the pinball machine. I don't know what pinball game it is, but it says cowboy at the top. Cowboy something. Maybe cowboy ride? I don't know. Also, the newscaster has a flesh-colored gas mask, or is a mutant of some sort. We don't judge, but their face isn't quite right. So Barret's not very happy because Cloud's like, where's my money? I don't work for free. I'm not part of this group. I'm just here for the dollars. I want my gil. I want to be paid. Don't mess with me. Did you know that Cloud was an ex-soldier? Because he brings it up a lot. But don't worry. You thought plot was over? Don't you fret. We have lots. But first we gotta try and leave. Nope. No can do. There's plot to be had. So, turns out, T here is C's childhood friend, and they're gonna tell us all about their childhood, because RPGs. It makes us... I love this run. It is wonderful, it is fabulous, but it does at times make me long for the ability to press start and skip cutscene. But in this particular cutscene, we learn that they are from the same little town called Nibelheim, and as children, before Cloud left to become a soldier, one of the elite class of Shinra, and he promised Tifa that he would come back and protect her should anything happen. And I just love the way Cloud's feet move. This game may not have aged very well art-wise, but they really did the best they could with what they have, and some of the effects they use are really quite effective. Oh. Though most people don't have knees, or, you know, bad things happen when they try and bend over in any sort of way. Often they crack in two, which nobody else is worried about, so I'm certainly not going to. I will note Nibelheim has a very pretty sky. Look at it. It's gorgeous. So if Tifa ever really gets in a bind, once Cloud is famous and a soldier, that he will come and he'll protect her, because there's going to be no problem with that happening. And as we can see, Cloud's an ex-soldier now, so he obviously became a soldier, right? Don't watch this speedrun to find out. We're not answering that question for you. As far as we know, he's a soldier, and has always been a soldier. So, but now, it's the most important time of the day. Pay time. And Cloud's like, what's this? I like more money than this. So, Barret, being the concerned parent that he is, but also the very dedicated worker, is going to spend his child's inheritance in order to pay this mercenary. I think it's a good deal. Definitely not suspicious whatsoever. Neither is the fact that Cloud's sleeping on the ground in the hideout. So, we have a really important skip coming up. Very technical, critically important. So, we're gonna mash through some text here. You wouldn't understand. We did it! So what that did is we skipped the materia tutorial, which is a solid 3 to 5 minutes long. So Marlene, the 4-year-old, is now going to watch the bar while we're gone. Don't worry about it. She's 4. She's got this. She's like 3 years older than she needs to be. So we used to just leave at this point, but the route has changed since introducing the skip, and we need to go out of our way to get some extra cash. It is critically important because grenades are important, and critically important as well is actually picking up the things we need and not walking out of the room. So that all materia, nice to have, we're not going to use it, but what we needed was that ether, because they sell for a good amount of money. And it just so happens that this particular shop has many things. And the particular many things that we want are grenades. We need grenades, but we also need a certain amount of money. So we're just gonna buy, I think that should be plenty. We're gonna buy a few grenades there because we're gonna buy some more later with items that we pick up the way, and everything. We're gonna top up and buy some more. But now it is the time we have all been waiting for. It is time to head on our mission. We are heading to Reactor 5, and there's important things to do in Reactor 5. So obviously we're just gonna wander around here for a bit. These soldiers look pretty cool, so we're gonna hang out with them. Missions don't seem so fun when you've got cool people like this to hang out with. And we're just gonna do nothing in particular and go a little too far and retry. So what I am actually attempting to do here is we are going to... There's a skip which was discovered where we can actually wiggle past these two guards with the correct setup. However, it is fairly particular, so sometimes it can take a couple of tries to get it just right, so we can just do our scoot past these poor guards. Unfortunately, if you don't get it, if you miss even the tiniest part, you go too far and you cannot scoot. But even with having to do this skip a couple of times to get the setup correct, it does save a lot of time compared to the previous run. So we're just going to take some serious time so I can get this, and I'll explain some more once I'm done. Okay. No, too far. So I'm experienced enough with the skip to know exactly when it's gone wrong. You gotta line up very, very perfectly when trying to wiggle by the guards there. Excellent. Sometimes you just don't even get your turn right. Like I say, it's a long series of things which usually goes pretty good, but is also incredibly particular, so there's any number of steps where you can just mess it up. Okay? Oh, it didn't even go down as far at all there. Beautiful. Again, we'll note how particular this skip is. Okay. Got it. And there we go. So we skipped past some guards. So rather than going to Reactor 5, we've had enough of Reactor 5. So you see we've got a lovely party there of CB and T. But you know what? They've got work to do. They've got things to be doing. So instead, we're going to swap up our party just a little bit. Oh, hey. There's that flower girl we saw earlier. She looks like a cool person. So apparently her name is Aerith. So because we have skipped the entire reactor, the Reactor 5 sequence, we just skip all of that and immediately come to Wall Market, and we get Eris in our party right away. But we did skip the naming. So one of the interesting things about that is when you get Eris the correct way, in the naming field, her name is spelled A-E-R-I-S. So it has the S rather than the TH. But when she comes pre-named like this, it ends in a TH instead. So let the naming wars continue. So it means we do not have a naming incentive for Eris when we do play this category. Because she can't be named when you do the skip that way. But now that we're in Wall Market, T has been taken to Don Corneo's mansion, and they'll only let girls in. So we have to make Cloud the prettiest in order to be let in, so that Eris and I can save T. So there is a long series of fetch quests here, which is really important. So the key thing is we need to get a very particular set of items. And if we mess that up, we are going to lose some time. So let's see how we do with all of it. So a lot of it is... there's 4 different items, and we're lining them up. We're not necessarily going to get, go get one, then go get the other. We're kind of doing all the setup at once for a whole bunch of them. So, first off, we had to talk to the person in the materia shop who wants us to go to the inn to find out what they're selling there. And we're like, okay, cool. And now we're a little snackish. So let's go have some sushi, because sushi is delicious and we like it. We will enjoy our sushi, thank you. And it was all right. So by buying that and saying it was all right, we get a pharmacy coupon, which we are actually going to turn in immediately. So that coupon is going to be really important for one of the future steps of the fetch quest. We need the digestive. But with that in hand, let's see what this inn is up to. So we're going to spend the night. It's only 10 gil. But let's go check out. We want the 200 gil one. We're not paying for anything cheap here. We want top notch. We want the quality. So make sure to get the 200 gil one and have a nap. We've worked really hard today. So we're going to keep going. We will come again. That was fabulous service. Thank you. So with that, it is time to claim our first item. So we come back to the materia shop person who really doesn't want Eris to listen. That's a theme, which also continues. So it turns out it's a protein drink shake. So now that he knows and is motivated, we received our first item, which is the diamond tiara. Okay, next up, we are going to do 2 of the next steps all at once. But first we have to trigger it so it's even accessible. So we come to the dress shop and they advise us that the dressmaker is in a slump and just hangs out at the bar. So if we want a dress made, we gotta bring him back. We cannot just leave him in the bar. And C is just like, I'm following your lead, Eris. I don't even know what's happening. Whatever. So to the bar we go. Now this is where it gets a little fun, because we're going to do 2 quests at once using the text box technique. So this one is less complicated, but we are going to have 2 conversations at once. So this is very particular. If we don't do this just right, like that, don't give it to her. Okay, good. Excellent. So what we did is we showed you, because if you mess it up too badly, you will soft lock. And we don't want that. So let's try that again. Open the door. We're supposed to close the door there and not try and talk to the poor sick person in there. So we're closing the door, and now we're going to mash for a bit. So we're mashing until we get the text box. What? A tough-looking guy like that? That's right. So now we can open the door, and we're going to talk to this lovely person here. We're going to come back, and we're going to mash for a bit. Now we're going to give her the medicine. We're going to wait for the second text box. And now we're going to clear that, and we're going to go nearer to the exit. We want to dress that feels soft and that shimmers. Now we have to make sure we clear those both at once, and to not clear the key item to get the sexy cologne. So that was our second item, but we have convinced the dressmaker. The dressmaker is very interested and wants to make our dress. So if you do clear that text box that you received the sexy cologne before you leave, Cloud will start to walk left into a table and will be uncontrollable, unmovable, and that's just it. Game over. You have soft locked. So thankfully, that's why if you make any little mistake while you still have the ability to move or back out, do it. You're better off just saving that. It still saves lots of time. But it turns out, while the dress fits, it's not quite right. There's one last thing we need. We have a tiara, we've got the cologne, we've got the dress, but now we need a wig. So we have to come talk to the beautiful bro, and it's time to do some squats. So, and this is one of the sections where I like to do serious time, because it is possible to lose this if you make any mistakes. There is a bit of RNG to how your opponent does, but you're better off not making any mistakes. If you make no mistakes, you should always win. So we're going to focus here for a moment. Don't need to practice, we got this. Or we don't got this. Miss one button. And you've thrown it all off. That's right, keep scratching your head, my friend. Ooh, that was great. Thankfully, well, I did pretty well, but my opponent did terribly, so we're fabulous. So we got the best wig, we got the blonde wig, so we got the best of all 4 items, meaning we are set. We have exactly everything we need to make Cloud the prettiest, because we're not here just to make Cloud pretty, we are here to make Cloud the prettiest. And with those 4 items in hand, well, we'll have to see. It's up to Don Corneo now. So, outfit in hand and on Cloud's person, we're ready to go. But Eris also needs a dress. So we need her to pick one out. And everyone around is like, you know, you could pick this one or that one. And she's like, nope, I need that one. Eris is a girl who knows what she likes. And so she picks out a wonderful, beautiful dress. And now we have 2 pretty people and we're ready to go. So with that, it is time to go and attempt to save T. Let's go see how that goes. This whole town is just, it has creepy music and creepy people. There's lots of creepy going on. But there's ramen next to the entrance, so at least if we're hungry, we can get some noodles. So, enter Don Corneo's mansion, which has lots of little tidbits of things to show just how creepy the Don is, if you can pick up on them or understand them. But people have left, so it is our time. Let's go find T. We ain't got time to be creeped out by this mansion. Yay, we found her! In this totally well-decorated and not at all creepy room. So now the ladies meet for the first time and introduce themselves, and they're just like, don't worry, C's here. You know, oh, I'm just a friend with C. Oh, it'd be great if C were here. Oh, wait, C is here. T, of course, cannot handle how pretty C is, because C is very pretty right now. So, T, of course, is going to explain why exactly she is here in this creepy, creepy place. So it turns out, after they got split up in the part that we skipped in Sector 5, they're looking for more information as to what Shinra's up to. And even though Eris was once again supposed to be not listening, she's like, no, why would I do that? I'm here, I'm listening. So we're all going to be here to talk to Don Corneo. So with everyone in on the plan, it doesn't matter who Don Corneo picks, according to these 3, because we will get the information we need no matter who Don Corneo picks. However, no matter what the ladies say, we actually have a choice as to who we want picked. So that's why we have worked very hard for these items. That ether is incredibly important. Again, they sell for a lot of dollars, so we need it. Okay, so it is time, everybody. Let us see if we became the prettiest. Time to line up in front of creepy, creepy Dawn. So he likes to wander. Cloud attempting to be coy. But it does not save him. This healthy looking girl has been selected. And of course, it is not random. So long as you get those 4 items, those particular top level items, Cloud will always be picked. And the reason that is the choice scenario is because if one of the other girls gets picked, it means Cloud gets to go off into the side room, and you have to fight a couple of battles to get out, so that is slower. But if you get Cloud chosen, it's much faster. So we are also, again, selecting the bottom options there because it gets us straight to the plot. You can kind of play coy and avoid Dawn for a while, but it's not unless you select those options, it can get a little circular for a while. So you want to select those bottom options in both cases, and then you can escape, and it's fabulous. And by escape, I mean the ladies have escaped because they don't need you. They got this. But everything is much faster. So by talking to the Dawn, you find out that Shinra is actually planning to blow up the pillar which supports the plate above Sector 7, which was where the 7th heaven is, the bar they were previously in. That's where Barret's daughter Marlene is. So that is very bad. So Don Corneo points out that the only reason he would give out that information is because he is sure he would win. So not very nice, but we have been dropped to the below. But now, let's go see what Shinra's doing for a little bit. Of course, we have a lovely party here. We have President Shinra, we have the ever wonderful Heidegger, who is the one in charge of dropping the plate, and we have Reeve, who is in charge of urban development, and he's like, maybe we shouldn't drop a plate onto a whole group of people, because the way Midgar is set up is all the rich and affluent live above on the plate, and all the poor or underprivileged folks live underneath the plate, where it's filled with garbage and is really not taken care of. So they of course would evacuate the folks on top of the plate, but it means all of the people underneath the plate, they're in for some unfortunate fate. So because Reeve dared to speak up and say, maybe we shouldn't kill all these people, he was sent on vacation for a few days, because apparently that's what you do. Not very nice. So we're in the sewers. It's a little gross. And Eris, of course, said the magical words of, at least the worst is over. Cue next boss. So, APS! Hello, apps. What up? We're gonna shoot some grenades in your face, because that's what we do. We're gonna shoot bolt at you. Grenades. So, at this point in the game, especially where we're not getting any levels, grenades are really important, because they do way more damage than any of these characters could possibly do by regular attacking. So now that everyone has selected their grenades, this is a whole day to win fight. And thankfully, the sewer tsunami that Apps likes to do actually hurts Apps as well. So eventually, Apps basically, does way more damage to itself than it does to us. While we brutally attack with grenades because we're awful people. Maybe the sewer monster just wants a hug. Look at it. It's got big arms for hugging. And spikes on its tail, but don't even worry about that. Those are for extra hugging grabbing. But we did it. Goodbye, apps. Goodbye. So, second boss, which used to be the third boss, has been defeated. And as you can see, even though that skip did take a bit of time, I still did save an entire minute on that, because it's still much faster than the old way. So we basically do not pick up, unless it's a materia we need, we never pick up extra materia, because materia does not sell for any money unless you have leveled it up some, and we really don't have time to be leveling up materia. So if we don't need it, it gets to stay exactly where it is, because we are literally just wasting time picking it up. But now we gotta get out of here. It's smelly down here. Nobody likes hanging out in the sewers, but instead, trains as far as the eye can see. But thankfully, the trains are right next to Sector 7, so C is apologizing for dragging Eris this far, but they aren't that far from Midgar, so should be able to get through. However, if this is your first time playing it, this place is a bit of a maze, so we do, in all runs, like to pick up that high potion, but we're going to pick up a few extra potions while we're here, because even just a couple of potions, especially the ones we're passing anyways, will get us enough money to get an extra grenade or two, and every grenade counts, because if something goes wrong, you'll be using grenades you could need for later on, so Grenades are life. So, like this. This is a regular potion. Again, potions are worth very little, but we're picking them up anyways. But what we need to do is now we need to move some trains because they're in our way. We cannot get out with the way things are currently oriented, so we're going to fix that a little. We're going to move some trains, and we're going to climb some ladders, and everything's going to be A-okay. Also note, if you get back in the train, you can move it back to where it was, and that's a huge time waste, so don't do that. Love yourself more than that. So, in the previous route, I never used to pick up this particular high potion because you didn't need it, but we need at least one high potion for later on in the run, and they do sell for some extra money, certainly more money than regular potions, so I like to pick that up for more grenades. When in doubt, more grenades. As long as you've got a high potion. Very, very important. We're going to math a boss to death later, and you cannot math without high potions, so don't do that. At least in the way I killed the boss. There's multiple ways to do it, but I like my way. So we have, in fact, made it to the pillar, but combat is heavily occurring. So we have to climb our way up many stairs to try and save this pillar because it's still standing, so it may not be too late. And there's Barret! Hey Barret! What does Barret do best? Shoot things. However, Biggs, not having such a good day. Whee! Just taking the fast way down, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And we love Biggs so much, it's actually Wedge. We don't even know his name. Okay, now it's for our next instance of the Stair Boss. The stairs in this screen are really at a bizarre angle. So let's see how we do. Got it. Yeah. Climbing stairs, and we see more friends on the stairs, but you know what? The friends will do better if we stop the pillar from falling, so let's just leave them be where they are. We passed the real Biggs there, who is hanging over the edge, so I'm sure they're fine. Hey look, propellers. Gotta love those propellers. No, listen. And there's Jessie, who's totally fine. Don't worry, she's good. And of course, our pal, Barret. So the game is nice about giving you a chance to re-equip and stuff if you need, but thankfully we do not need. We do not need to re-equip, so we're gonna mash through that and head straight for our next boss, who is a member of the Turks, Reno. And that's it. According to him, mission is accomplished, but we're still gonna try and stop him, because yes. So the key of this battle is by holding up an affirmative, we can just set everyone to attacking grenades, and if we're lucky, he'll pyramid. Oh my goodness, he pyramided Tifa, who had already tossed her grenade. That is beautiful. I don't think I've ever had that happen. Because it's random who he attacks, so you do want him to pyramid, but my luck goes that he never pyramids the person who's already attacked. So this is incredibly lucky. Love it. In either case, you don't lose time. You don't really lose time in the other scenario because 8 hits with grenades, and Reno remembers that he left the stove on, and he better go fix that before he burns his house down. Because that's not very good. See, it's time. He remembered. Gotta go! Toodles! Bye, Reno. We'll miss you. Another ether. Love it. Okay, so Tifa's gonna come and try and stop this. But she, unfortunately, she doesn't know how to stop it. And it's too late. This is a time bomb, which is not normal. And now Seng, the leader of the Turks, shows up to gloat and tell us that it's too late. It cannot be disarmed. And not only that, hey, they've taken Eris, who in the section which we skipped, we find out where the Turks are actually introduced, that they are chasing after Eris. And they need her because she's an ancient. What does that mean? Who knows? I haven't really explained it yet, but Seng is not very nice. Don't hit people. That's rude. And Eris has said that someone is alright, so that's good to know, but Seng's out of here. He's got a helicopter, he's out. So I actually see that I got a gold split on that one, which will show you how frequently I get that that good 3 turn there. So I'm gonna line myself up so I can talk to Barret right away, because if you can get him talking right away, he can wander for a bit before trying to get set up here. And that wastes time. So you want him to be ready immediately. Come on, let's go. You'll escape no matter what, but we ain't got time for running about. We gotta escape with our lives. Goodbye, Pillar. We hardly knew ye. So it is sad times had by all. Tears. Yeah, I would not want to be those people. All you hear are screams and sadness. At least they have a new skylight? Awkward. Of course, President Shinra. Just sitting up in his tower, listening to opera. That's nothing against the opera, but cold-hearted. Cold-hearted. So our party has thankfully survived, but unlike the park, which we didn't see earlier because we skipped this section and we ran right above it, this park has been absolutely totaled. And we did see that place. We came right through there earlier. Not looking so good now. I don't think those guards are okay, which is sad. So B is rather distraught because his daughter is in there. So, that's what happens when you leave a 4-year-old mind the bar. Like, I'm not quite sure how you thought that was a great parental decision, Barret. So we are very sad for your loss. She was 4. It's tragic, but come on. However, that being said, Tifa advises, because Eris ran off to, was sent off as they went to the pillar to go check on Marlene. And she says that Marlene was safe, or she said that she is safe. So they believe it's Marlene. So they're going to go see if they can find her. While Barret realizing that he's in a tough spot, because not only does he want to stop Shinra and feels what he did is right by blowing up the reactor, this plate coming down is only in response to them blowing up 2 separate reactors. So things don't be very good. Cause and effect. You might be doing what you feel is right, but doesn't mean you're gonna get the results, the full result you were looking for. So once again, if we want to progress the plot, we gotta leave. Time to go. So of course, the plot has to get into what is an ancient, and what does it mean? And Cloud has one of his beginning to become numerous flashbacks, where he's not super okay, where Sephiroth was talking about ancients. So, And now, to segue from that, here's a house. We are running away from a house. Just don't question. If we're lucky or unlucky, we'll see another house and it will try and throw missiles at us, because I thought that's what all houses did, really. So, had we not done the skip, we would have come this way earlier, but we didn't. So here's Eris's house. It is very pretty. And with our new skip, again, money routing is particularly strict. So we need to go out of our way to pick up that ether. That is really important. Again, ethers at this point of the game, ethers are the item that sell for the most. So we don't actually need them at all for usage. So any ethers we get are really excellent to sell, so we can get lots of money. I think they sell for, I'm not sure if it's 500 or 750, but they sell for a lot. And grenades are 80 each, so that is a lot. So we definitely want all of that. So, but now, of course, not only have we've gone to Eris's house because we're like, where would Eris hide a little girl? Probably at her house with her mother. And thankfully, we're correct. Marlene is in fact here. But we want to know more about ancients and Eris. And so her mother Elmira explains that she's not actually Eris's real mother. That what happened is, she was just a wife, and her husband had gone off to I'm assuming the Wutai War, and she waited and waited and waited, but he never came home. But instead, she found, and we'll see shortly, she found someone else. Because she kept waiting. So instead, one day, she found a mother, very hurt, very sick, and her young daughter. And unfortunately, the mother doesn't make it, but she does ask Elmira here to take care of her daughter, who is Eris. Both of them being ancients. So Elmira is like, sure, we'll take care of her. My husband is gone maybe forever, and this little girl is now all alone, so let's help each other. So it turns out they were locked in a laboratory, being experimented on, and they managed to escape, but unfortunately, Eris's mother got hurt on the way out. So, and as Eris grew, she just kept kind of showing some weird powers almost, like precognition, and would just be like, in this case, told Elmira not to worry. Please don't be sad, but someone you lost has just died. And then shortly after, she finds out her husband's not coming home. He has died. And the Turks do find her, and they're like, yep, you're an ancient, you got powers, you can talk to the planet. And Eris is like, nope, can't prove it. But of course, Elmira knows. She's not dumb. So the Turks would hang around and watch her, and up until this point, they did leave her alone. But, seems they're not so keen for that anymore. And of course, Elmira, being the mother she is like, how could you leave a 4-year-old to tend the bar? Please. Please. And of course, Barret is like, but I need to save the planet. Hold on, gotta leave the trigger plot. He's like, I gotta save the planet for Marlene, but if I stay with Marlene, the planet's gonna die around her, so which best way can he take care of Marlene? But for now, we gotta save Eris, and we're gonna leave Marlene, wonderful tiny child, who I'm sure makes fabulous cocktails. We're gonna leave her with Elmira here, who's like, yeah, sure, we got this. So we gotta get to the Shinra headquarters, but first we need to do some shopping, because shopping is important. Very important. So, but first we're going to do some important selling. So we don't need any ethers. Goodbye. We don't need that Phoenix Sound. We don't need that. We need one high potion. So we got to keep that. And now we're going to buy more grenades, because they're fabulous. Let's go up. Lots of grenades. But we do need a certain amount of money here. So, oops. And we need to actually press the correct button when buying things. Super important. Yeah, that's actually, we're gonna buy a couple more grenades because we don't need no safety. What are you talking about? We need. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we need 300 gil in order to buy some batteries here now in a moment. So, but other than that, we don't need anything else. We need that one high potion to stay in our inventory, and we need 300 gil, and then we can keep going with grenades, 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 and houses who want to attack us. Don't do it. No. See? Rockets. That's rude, house. What did we ever do to you? We're just trying to run away, and you're firing your missiles at us. We're trying to save this planet so you have a place to live, house. But no. Okay, so we're leaving that materia there because, again, we don't need it. I think it's an enemy skill. Honestly, it's not relevant to the speedrun, so who knows? But what is relevant to the speedrun is what I need to do in order to get to Shinra headquarters, where poor Eris, who has been very helpful to us and has been just dragged into all of this, is hanging out. So behind the lovely dojo where we got the wig is a wonderful person who's going to sell us some batteries. Don't know why we might need these, but let's just get them anyways. They can't hurt, right? And with that, I do want to see something awesome. Thank you. I will follow you. You can see an excellent example of English on the back there. That is supposed to say Avalanche, which is the name of the terrorist group. But as you can see, it's yeah, it's not quite there. Okay, but first, it's time to climb. See, we've even got epic climbing music. No mercy. Oh no, it's horrible. So you can see the destruction down below, but we're not paying attention to that because we have to navigate this. This can be a little tricky to actually properly navigate. Come on, get down there. What happens if we put a battery in? Aha! This thing takes like 40 seconds to boot up and actually finish turning. The things you do for our wonderful RPG speedruns. It's a good game. Good thing this game and speedrun is so much fun. That's okay. We're ready to go. We are ready. Let's do this. Yeah, propeller! So we're given 3 batteries, but we don't actually need the 3rd one. It's to get a treasure, and we don't need that treasure. So here is a sound cue, which I'm going to listen to. So as long as you can hear the sound cue, it is not a problem to get that every single time, which I'm sure anyone who played this casually knows how much of a pain in the butt that was. But nope, easy peasy town if you've got that sound cue. So sound is very important, at least for this part of the run. The rest of the run, not so bad, but for that part, yeah, you can optionally, you know, learn the sight cue for that, but I don't like to. I like the sound cue. Okay, so we have made it. We have made it to the Shinra headquarters, which is big and threatening and not very nice at all. That's okay. It's worth it. Our friend is there, and we're gonna save. So Cloud's pointing out that this is the first time he's been here, even though he's a soldier. So we have 2 options. We're either going to bust through the front door, or we're going to take the sneaky way in. So we're telling Barret, of course, we're going to bust on in. Only because it's the top option, and we like lying to B, because he looks so sad. And instead, we're going to sneak in. Thankfully, you can do whichever you want, no matter which option you choose. So welcome to the next portion of your life, which is stairs. Stairs, stairs, so many stairs. Average-wise, this way is faster. However, because you can take the elevator if you bust in the front door, and if you get perfect RNG or the correct RNG, the elevator is faster. But again, you're dealing with RNG, which I'm not a fan of, as I'm sure most speedrunners are not. However, the stairs are consistent. You just need to spend your time climbing them. They don't change. They're the same things with the same speech and the same items all the time. So, stairs is the way to do it. Plus, in the speedrun, for those who are doing the other way of killing one of the future bosses, there is an elixir on these stairs, which is used for that strategy. However, for the strategy which I use for the future killed by math boss, I don't need the elixir, so we're gonna just ditch it. We don't need it. Doom, 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 doom. Also, do enjoy the text. Some of it's auto-scrolling. I don't have to mash it all. So do enjoy it. Barret is freaking out. Tifa has no time for his nonsense, which is a theme in this run. Barret's got the soft heart, and Tifa just wants him to please stop. And unfortunately, this game did come out in 1997, so some of the language is a little dated. I'm not going to specifically pick it out for you, but unfortunately, some of the colloquialisms are not good anymore and are kind of offensive. But it is the nature. We cannot mash past it, unfortunately, so I'll leave you to watch. Are we there yet? Not yet. There yet? No. Tifa, no time for Barret's nonsense. Yo, we're not there yet. Oh my god. Tifa is the parent to everyone. Everyone else is just being like, oh hey, and Tifa's like, can we please not? Can we please just focus here for a second? She really has no time for Barret's nonsense. I love it. I adore it. Barret tries to act tough, but even in just this beginning, you know, these 3 hours of this run, you can see that Barret is just a teddy bear. He's just like, I'm tough. Yeah, I promise I'm tough. I'm so tough. He's not tough. He's a teddy bear. So unfortunately, Tifa remembers mid-stairs that she is wearing, I'm not sure if it's a skirt or a pair of shorts. Needless to say, it is short, and she doesn't want us going behind her. So we're like, okay, whatever, Tifa. If it makes you happy and makes you feel secure, that is important to us. So please, we will go ahead of you. Please follow behind us. No idea. What floor is this? We ain't got no idea. But we are getting close-ish, vaguely close. I like to think about the cutscene or the little middle thing with Tifa being all like, please go ahead of me, is about halfway. So, join us for more exciting stair times. I just love all the different emergency lights that are going. You're like, but there's no real emergency happening, but they're just like, no, we're just making sure this hallway is well lit and that you're aware that you have passed yet another floor. Congratulations. We did it. We have climbed another set of stairs. We did actually count the stairs once, so individual, like, stairs, you know, just one flight as such, one direction, is, I think it was 128, which makes it 64 full flights of stairs. Gross as heck. But we've made it! We have survived. And I can't guarantee we're not going to see stairs again, but not in that number. However, before we progress, there are some things we want to do. It has been a while since we have been together in this way. So we're going to start back here. Okay, we're going to config. We want to go to wait mode for this next boss, or this next fight, I should say. And Barret has been missing his assault gun. I don't even think he needs it, but we're doing it. No, come back here. And we have not actually changed. Buttons are hard. This game has different buttons than most games I play. So we want to give that restore materia to Cloud, and we're good to go. So hey friends. So, not a boss fight, but a mandatory encounter. So, but you know what? We got grenades, and with wait on, we can kind of wait trick here. So we're gonna wait a moment. So we're gonna manipulate the ATB, because in wait, it will not move while we're in the menu. So we're just kind of waiting for folks to... And each one of these enemies, when they lose their armor, their ATB resets. So if you do it perfectly, you will not... you won't get too many hits here from backwards rollerblade friends here. Yeah, they have lovely armor, and then when the armor comes off, they have backwards rollerblade feet, which is power to them. You know what? Sometimes you just need to have rollerblades for feet. That's how it goes. Not the most optimal battle, but we did it. We have escaped with our lives, and got our first keycard. So keycards are the big thing for this run. We need them to progress to the different floors so we can make it to the top to find Eris. So we're going to be doing a lot of different puzzles and things in order to find Eris. So, but before that, we're going to have a bit of serious time because we have to do a little bit of sneaky so we do not get caught by the guards. And this is timing specific, so we're going to focus up, make sure we don't get caught by the guards. The guard's order, I will note, moves the same way every time. So it does help you learn it, but it is still particular. You gotta make sure you get your timings right all the same. You get caught, you have to fight extra battles. It ain't no one got time for that. Okay, so we're gonna wait for those guards. Because this spot takes a little bit longer. Okay, again, we're gonna wait. Okay, we're guaranteed to get through now. We're good. Yeah! Okay, so that can be, again, it's really particular. It's really important that you get that correct because the extra experience you get from fighting the random encounter or the encounters you get for getting caught puts Eris up to a higher level than we want. So we don't want that. We need our levels to be the exact values so we don't mess things up. So, and of course we don't want to waste grenades. We need those grenades and they're unrunnable encounters. So, these bookcases are here so we can figure out what the password is. However, we are given 6 password options. It'll be one of 4. There's 2 options it will never be. And we can just guess. There's no penalty other than we won't get the extra good bonus item if we don't get it first try. But we don't want the extra bonus item, so we don't care. So it'll never be Orb and it'll never be Hojo. So we did get bad RNG. We did get the last option, as it were. So we only got a potion, but again, we're not looking for the extra item. It is always faster to just guess which password it is versus checking and finding out the right answer the first try. Don't even worry about it. Always guess them. So orbs, Hojo, never the right one. So next puzzle. We are getting puzzle pieces so that we can unlock the very last chest in this room, which will have our next key card. And we're getting Midgar pieces, which we are putting into a model. And for each piece that we put in, another treasure chest will become unlocked. So you can technically, other than the first one, you can put the pieces in any order. But the very first one you need to put into the first slot there. And doing so technically opens up all the rest of the boxes. Now, you can still only have one box at a time. So as soon as you open one box, all the rest of them become locked. But you can technically get them in any order so long as you put that first one in there. So it's up to you what your order is. So that helps because you don't really have to memorize where the different chests are in that order. You can pick your own order and do it that way, which is always much better because we always have our preferred ways of doing things. So especially because one of the chests is just really out of the way. So it would be nice if you could, get all of the parts at once, but alas, it does not let you do that. So just stand on these little yellow parts, and that's where you can mash to enter the next piece. So we got all the ones on that side. That chest is not the one with our piece. That is our key card, and this chest back here is the last one. So we're gonna dodge this encounter. Ding. And everyone has their limits built up, and other than Cloud, that really doesn't matter, because we're not going to use them. Unless we happen to be short grenades, which I'm pretty sure we're not. So, put our last piece in. So, of course, this is an incredibly up-to-date model, so Sector 7 is already gone. Sad. Thank you for the keycard. Up to the next floor where there's no puzzle waiting, but a meeting of executives. So we're gonna spy on that. Because we are here looking for Eris, and also looking for more information. So in this case, we are going to climb up into this air vent from the toilet, and we're going to have a little look-see, see what's happening in this meeting. Because, you know, better information. Forewarned is forearmed is the saying. I'm pretty sure that's not correct, but something along those lines. So we have the top Shinra executive here. President Shinra, Heidegger, Palmer, Scarlet, and Reeve. Palmer is okay, even though he's missing his middle. Like, don't even worry about it. It's totally okay. He didn't need that anyways. And of course, everyone's favorite scientist to absolutely despise, Hojo. Hojo likes to experiment on things and is just here completely in the pursuit of science, has no moral qualms about doing terrible things to find out the information that he is looking for. So he's gonna cackle like the creepy person that he is. We don't like Hojo. I don't like Hojo, I should say. Not a very nice person. Something stinks. So Scarlet, of course. More than just a pretty face. But we're gonna follow them because that's a lot of good information that we got. Basically just kind of future plans, but talking about them doing some things with Eris. So that is what we're looking for. So away we're gonna go. But we haven't received a key card. So this could be a little difficult. We gotta make sure Hojo's gone before we proceed, because creepy fellow, we don't want to get caught by Hojo. That'd be very bad. But Hojo's not very good at security and has left the door open. So of course, we're gonna follow. That's what you do. Ding, 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 ding. Hojo does what he wants. So according to Cloud, even though he's that's the head of the science department, this is the first time he's ever seen him. Cool, Cloud. What were you doing while you were in Soldier? Please tell us. So we realize we have come a little too far and we need to hide. Where can we hide, you ask? Perfect. Not obvious to anybody. Certainly not anyone walking towards the screen. There's no way they cannot see you there, Cloud. But thankfully, due to the magic of video games and perspective, Cloud is apparently invisible. So apparently it's only us, though it's only us who shouldn't be able to see Cloud. So this is not Eris, but it looks like more than just Eris has been locked away and captured by Hojo. And Tifa, being a little rude, knocking on the glass. Not very nice, but Cloud doesn't have time for that. Because there's a glowy light over there, and what do you do when you see a door with a glowy light? You look inside. Come on. And instead, we're just going to see a creepy body with no head. I'm not sure I would have wanted to look in there, but to each your own. However, Cloud really not okay with that. Really not enjoying what he saw. If you have constant flashbacks and lots of headaches, especially when you see things, go see a doctor. You're not okay. And Cloud, not okay. That's okay. We've done what we need to. Eris isn't here, so we're going to keep going. But we're getting this chest first, which contains the poison materia, which we do not need yet, but is absolutely critically important for some later battles. One battle we cannot do without, and another makes a lot safer. So don't skip the poison materia. Love yourself more than skipping the poison materia. You can get it on the way back down, because we will have to come back down soon. But I like to get it on my way up, because then I've guaranteed I have it, I'm not going to miss it. But it seems Eris is there, but so is the previous precious specimen. And Hojo, being the unmoralistic creep that he is trying to breed them. Because if you take two endangered species and put them together, you can make an even more valuable species. And don't be like Hojo. Hojo's creepy. And probably don't be like Barret. Shooting electronic equipment is not always the smartest idea. But thankfully, for everyone involved, even though it looked like it was going to explode, the door just opened. So we're totally okay. Well, Hojo's not so okay. He's getting a little mauled. But you know what? I think in this circumstance, we're going to let that one fly. However, that is not the only thing there. The elevator is bringing something else up. And Hojo's like, haha! So luckily, we do have a boss battle coming up, and the choice we want is the first one, so we can just mash through. And Red doesn't talk enough to make it worth the time to rename him, so we just leave his name as Red 13. So we're gonna... The weight tricking is also very important for this battle because those little tiny kind of pill bugs in the front are really mean, and we want to make sure they attack as little as possible. So we're just gonna... Unfortunately, we can't just hold A to win in this because those little bugs are in the way. So we gotta make sure we target the real boss, the H0512. There we go. You can't avoid all damage in this, but we're just trying to make sure that those little pill bugs attack as little as possible. Again, we can't even avoid them attacking altogether, but we want them to attack as little as possible. And there we go. Boss done. Doodaloo, boss! And HP is not a worry there. Because we're fine. Just don't even worry about it. So, we have freed Eris, and we're gonna split up into teams though, because staying all together is not smart. Plus our party limit is 3. So again, we have the party we want, so we can just mash through all that. We don't have to press any special buttons. We're just gonna keep the party we've got, and we're out of here. We've got Eris, that means we can leave. So we have agreed to meet on the 66th floor, floor number 66, where we eavesdropped on that battle, because it is actually the next floor which has elevators. Unfortunately, there's no elevators on this floor, which I'm sure is a security matter, but it's not very convenient for us, and I'm not a fan of that. But that's fine. We're just gonna walk a little bit extra and hop in this convenient elevator. We got our passes, we just need to go all the way down. So, elevator time. Oh, hey. Would you plus up, please? Must be a trap. Rude. Rude, Cloud, rude. No, actually, the Turk's name is Rude. Oh, oh, oh. Never gets old. Anyways. So, unfortunately, we're not quite as clever as we thought we were. We may have saved Eris, but now all of us have been captured by Shinra and the ever-wonderful group of Turks. So, and we're getting brought up to the head honcho himself, President Shinra. So, since she is the last surviving ancient, Eris has been put in a safe spot. And because President Shinra is an all-around, not very nice person, and basically evil villain, he's gonna stand here and monologue, because of course, he's winning right now. We're in handcuffs, he's in front of us, and so he's gonna monologue. So, you know how it goes. So it turns out what Shinra is looking for and why they need the Ancient, which is Eris, is because they're looking for the Promised Land, which can only be found by an Ancient. And that's where they're going to build the new city of Neo Midgar. There's infinite energy there, and everything will be happy daisy. Lots of candy, everything will be just fabulous. Sounds like a pipe dream to me, but you know how these evil villains go. So, we are in prison. Let's see how Eris is doing. So there's kind of twofold reason we want to select that option. First, we need to talk to Eris in order to progress. We can talk to everyone else if we want, but the next option won't progress until we have spoken to Eris. And the progression option actually appears in the same slot as talking to Eris. So we just talk to Eris first, smash through some text, and we'll be able to progress with the plot, which is beautiful. Definitely what we want to do. So, you know, now that they are able to talk to her, they're like, so Promised Land, yes, no, maybe? And she's like, I don't know about it. The planet talks to her in kind of vague terms, so she's just like, I hear things, but I don't know about this Promised Land they're talking about. It's, she doesn't know. So, she says her mom has talked about it a bit, but overall, no. So since we have memory cursor on, since the last option we chose was to talk to Eris, the pointer is still over there, that same option saying, maybe we should get some sleep. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a nap. Because we're in prison. What else are you gonna do? Sleep. Oh, and hey, the door's open. That's cool. So we're gonna go in a really, what I think is an amusing mini fetch quest, which is, oh hey, the door is open. Let's go explore. Oh hey, the guard is dead. That's not cool. Let's go talk to Tifa. Who's all like, oh hey, the door is open. Oh hey, let's go check on the guard. So we're gonna check on the guard again, number 2. And she's gonna be like, let's go, now that we got the key, let's go free the others. So she's got Eris. I'm gonna free my friends here. So door unlocked. Door is unlocked. So what do? What's the next chain of events? Well, let me tell you. Just check on the guard a 3rd time. We've got a team of micromanagers here. Everyone's got to make sure that they check on the guard. So we talk to the ladies and we are ready to progress. Music is creepy, but I'm sure that's our only problem. There's nothing to worry about. You know, someone was attempting to do some redecorating and failed. It happens to the best of us. And now, you know, we've got some gumball machines, which are failing to attack us, so bonus. And you know what else is here? Which is really helpful for whoever attacked? Somebody, we're not going to name any names though, has left a very convenient blood trail for us, telling us exactly where we need to go. Now that is the sort of forward thinking that we are looking for in this company. So if you are looking to be part of the Shinra Electric Company, please talk to us, but it looks like we're in need of a few new employees. For some reason, we're having a bit of a shortage right now. No reason, though. Is that the Pizzazzo? Pizzazz! Don't poison Tifa, that's rude. So you know what, we're gonna go a little off the path. Actually, it doesn't matter which door you pick, because the trigger's right here. So, everything is great. Wow. Except for President Shinra, who has a new fashion accessory called the Mazamune in your back. Not recommended fad. Not gonna go very far in fashion trends because he's a little dead. However, Palmer's still here. Hi, Palmer. How are ya? We're totally friends, aren't we, Palmer? We're not friends. We don't like Palmer in this speedrun category. Or I don't like Palmer. In this channel, Palmer is not our friend. He is a very mean boss later. As far as I'm concerned, he's the final boss of the game. So, but hey, the Vice President is here, so let's go check it out. What do you do when there's a helicopter around? Everyone files out and goes checks it out. I think that's smart. So it turns out, Sephiroth was here, and so Vice President Rufus is like, who are you people? What a crew. Because they say quite literally who they are. I'm a terrorist. I'm a flower girl. He's like, who are these people? What? So he's like, well, my daddy, tried to rule by money. I, the new president of Shinra, I'm gonna rule by fear, because even though Rufus is very pretty, he is not very nice. He's not exactly the best person. Even if he's wearing a very spiffy outfit. Look at him. It's all white. So Cloud is like, this is bad. Can you folks get Eris out of here? This is just trust me for once. Get Eris out of here. So, we have split the party. Never split the party, folks. I'm sure it'll work out fine in this case, but, you know, what could possibly go wrong? So yeah, I mentioned earlier in the run that a lot of the facial features for folks have been reworked, and we're going to see a example of that shortly. But we do have one boss to do before that. We're going to have a bit of a boss rush here, because we've split the party. And what happens when you split the party? You're going to get ambushed. So, time for ambush the first. With everyone's favorite pal, the Heligunner. But you know what we have that's really helpful? We got grenades. Okay, 3 grenades, away we go. So the only thing to really keep in mind in this battle, which is really important, is keeping Eris alive. Generally speaking, that's not a challenge, but in the rare case that the boss does choose to focus fire on Eris, you just use her limit, which is Healing Wind, to heal everyone up. Things get slower if either Barret or Red die, but it's not going to hurt things as badly as if Eris dies. We need her to get the experience from this particular series of battles. So, this series of elevator battles is actually 2 battles. I couldn't even tell you the name of this particular boss. I'm sure if let's see what the boss is. He might tell us. Random robot, either way. It's the next boss after this one we care about. We call it a boss because it's a non-runnable battle. But grenades are also particularly important for this battle because this is a distance battle. So generally speaking otherwise, only Barret or Materia can hit these enemies because they're so far away. But we have grenades and they're thrown weapons, so we're not very worried at all. Like really not at all worried. So, hello, Heligunner. How are you? Welcome to the party. And you can see how many grenades we're using up in this battle. Just goes to show why we need so many. So, Heligunner not being very nice and putting B to sleep, but that's fun. 1 hit to Barret, and he will wake up. But for now, the other 2 will just continue to toss grenades. Wow. You couldn't even hit me. Come on. And excellent. I was half waiting for Red to go to sleep there. I was like, that's not gonna be so fun. Running away. That's what we do in future battles. As you notice, I like to sing to the music. It's so catchy, why wouldn't you? Wow, there goes Red. That's unfortunate. Boss is dead though, so meh. Lovely, so that's 1/2 done. So we're good. We don't need to do any sort of equipping or anything right now. We just want to jump right into the next battle. So, up to boss number 2. So, unfortunately, we've got a cute little puppy here, but we gotta get rid of Puppy. Puppy is not very nice. Puppy likes to buff Rufus there, so Dark Nation has to go. So, thankfully, we got the good attack. You can actually attack for just low enough that Dark Nation does not die in 1 hit sometimes, and you don't want that. But so long as you get rid of Dark Nation first, it is just 4 easy grenades to Rufus, and Rufus says, oops, I also left the oven on. Gotta go! I just love the helicopter in the background. It's like, whee! And look at Rufus's eyes. So this is what I mean about they fix some characters' faces and others you're just like, what have you done? And there's a couple of characters which in battle you're just like, what is happening here? Okay, so we need to go to the menu first because we took off Cloud's Materia because that was just faster. No, we want that. Okay, good. But we need them for the next battle. Absolutely must have for the next boss fight. We really like that. But you know what? We are about an hour and a half in and we have not saved this entire time. So you know what? I think we're going to play it a little safe and we're going to save. That is a good thing to do here. And you know what? We're going to save in that slot, whatever. So here we go. More blood trails. Tifa, great person has been waiting for me. So, that being said, it is time to escape. Let us go. We are out of here. So unfortunately, unlike what would have happened if we busted in, we cannot bust our way out. There are just too many people outside. With everything happening, they're really upset about this. So, we need a way to escape, but who should show up but Tifa? So she can't explain. She doesn't have time to explain where C is, but she's like, just follow me. We've got this. So I hope everybody is ready for one of the best parts of the game. We're here for mini games, and now it is our first mini game of the run. And we are going to do this so many times. I hope you love it. So let us mini game it up with everyone's favorite motorcycle game. Also, this cutscene though. Also, piece of trivia, that truck only has 3 wheels, which I always thought was very bizarre. But I mentioned it to a friend of mine who actually advised that in Japan there are 3-wheeled trucks like that. So not as bizarre as I thought. But now, cutscene over, it's time to get the business. Time to get serious to defeat the Huns. So, we're just going to sit here swinging our sword because these motorcycle enemies come in many different colors and we want red ones. Oh my goodness. Why are you doing this? So we've got 1 red one. There can be no more than 3 on the screen at a time. And each color has a different AI script. So what we want are the red ones because we can actually manipulate the red one's AI script. And as long as I'm swinging my sword, they will stay behind me. So if we're lucky enough to get 3 red ones, this becomes a very, very easy but mash-intensive battle. So we've got 2 of them. We're trying really hard not to accidentally kill one. Oh boy. Okay. Because you can in trying to kill the other ones, because the other ones will either be more aggressive to Cloud or be more aggressive to the car. But in this case, because we don't want to get damaged here, we do have a boss at the end of this minigame. But we have this wonderful series of bosses or enemies here, so since they're all the red ones, as long as we keep mashing, we're good. We're just gonna sit here and chill. It is a little mash intensive, and unfortunately, with the way the PC game is set up, you can't just hold the button and have Cloud just automatically swing. You do have to mash. So that's what we're gonna do. I love how speedruns love to trivialize some of the things which were incredibly difficult when playing through some of these games casually, and I don't know about any of you, but I know I incredibly struggled with this particular mini game when I used to be forced to play it in the casual run. But now that I know this strategy, I'm like, this is so cute. Look at it. It's trying to be hard. And sometimes you can get lucky and get those 3 red ones right off the bat. And sometimes you're almost at the boss and are still killing motorcycles. So it's one of those RNG points where you're just like, are you going to play nice game? Thankfully, it's not a time-consuming one, just a how much do I have to pay attention and strategize one. So in this case, we just get to keep mashing. So, oh look, they disappeared. I wonder why that is. Oh look, there's something chasing us. That looks scary. Let us fight. So this is Motorball, our next fight, who we have no option but to fight. We have run out of road. We're gonna do it. So there is a strategy here, and hopefully Motorball will be nice to us and I will get the strategy correct. Let us see how it goes. So you get hit first automatically, but you go in with whatever health you had after that game. So if you took too much damage, stuff goes bad. So we want 1 grenade, bolt, grenade. So it's 1 hit from everyone. I have to count hits, so I'm going to pay attention to this battle. So it's 2, 2. Oh, yeah, keep missing like that, Motorball. 2. 3. Great. We want 5, 4, 4. It'll make sense in a moment. 4. 4. 4. So our last hit now, that'll be Tifa. We're gonna pause for a moment. And this is for boss AI manipulation. So Tifa's gonna get the 5th hit there, and we're just gonna chill for a second. And we're waiting for the boss to start standing up. And so it has, so I can start attacking again. So by doing this, we skip a specific part of the AI script, which will make Motorball attack us with really hurtful moves. And so as you can see, Motorball does a lot of damage, and we are just trying to survive. So by doing that, thank you very much, Motorball, for your service. We're done here. So if you miscount, you have to be careful of those limits because, again, once you build up a limit, things start moving very quickly. Your ATB moves very quickly, so sometimes someone will jump ahead of the count, which is why I was serious timing to count how many, what numbers we were at for everyone's count. I have lost, when I was first learning that strategy, I had lost count sometimes because I had... Cloud had gotten his limit and jumped ahead and, you know, got his... It wasn't right before his turn. He was right at the beginning, so he jumped ahead of the count. Because I think in that one it was Tifa, Barret, Cloud with how the ATB worked at the beginning. So always good to know. But now, remember how I mentioned earlier about using 2 different types of text boxes in order to skip things? Well, my friends, it is time for what is called the Barret Skip. No, we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do here is there's a text box when we try and leave, and there's a text box when we talk to Barret. So we're going to try and trigger both of them at the same time. And by doing so, you'll know when I've gotten it because it is frame perfect, and the text box is going to break a little bit. And there we go. Bam. See, just don't worry about it. I don't know. Then... let's go! So what that allows me to do is instead of everyone talking and instead of getting some free heals, we're able to leave Midgar right away. And while that's less important and just more saves time at this point in the run, it is incredibly important for later on in the run. So it is very good, and that technique is used in a few different spots, so it is really important to know. So, but again, we just fought a tough boss, so you know what? Let's just save. Let's just be safe. Let's save. I am the queen of safety saving, so we are going to save because this is a very important part of this game. We are finally out of town. We have escaped Midgar. So first, important part of point A, we're going shopping. Yeah. So, this is the item store. Yes, it is. So we've still got our high potion. We're selling these 3 items. Lovely. And then we are going to buy a whole bunch of stuff because we like things. So very specific set of items. And we're spending the rest on tents because tents are cool. They cure us. So we wanted potions and Phoenix Downs because there's a boss soon where we can get murdered and we need potions. And hypers, I really don't think are particularly effective in this run as such, but the tranquilizers are very important because what they do is they make it so you take less damage, but your limit gauge also goes up slower. And it's the particular limit gauge slowing effect that we want in a few spots. And we definitely want to take a little bit less damage. So it's a kind of combo effect, which we're going to put into great effect. But now we are into the most important part of any Final Fantasy game. We're here for a flashback. So welcome everybody to the next 10-15 minutes of your life. It's a cutscene. Yay! So Cloud is telling the story of how he knows Sephiroth and how Sephiroth kind of stopped being the star soldier of Shinra and how everything kind of went very, very wrong. So it started off with a mission to Nibelheim, which is the town that Cloud is from, which is the reason he's here on the mission with Sephiroth. Now, one of the things I want to point out is that there's an RNG battle coming up, and it's not losable. You cannot lose the battle, but depending on how the RNG goes, we can actually lose some time. So we're about to fight a dragon, and what we want is we don't want the dragon to fight Cloud at all. We just want it to fight Sephiroth, ignore Cloud whatsoever. But if it does attack Cloud, we want Sephiroth to be a heartless jerk, so it attacked Cloud. So Sephiroth needs to be a heartless jerk, yes, and not life to Cloud, because we win this battle whether Cloud wins or lives or dies. So we're heartless and would rather Cloud be dead. So otherwise, providing either of those scenarios happens, that battle is just 2 turns, 2 hits from Sephiroth, easy peasy. However, if Sephiroth decides to be a real pal and cure Cloud, then unfortunately the battle takes longer, and it is just RNG. You just have to hope that Sephiroth is heartless, which thankfully in this case he was, so that was great. But now we have a really important job. We're ready to go into town, so let's do this. Whee! And away we go. Hey, wait a minute! So Barret has a lot of questions. He's not an active listener. He wants to be an active participant in this story. And the rest of the crew is kind of like, Barret, shh, just listen. Just listen very carefully, and we can have question period afterwards. Which is fair. Apparently, Cloud gets put off very easily. But Sephiroth's being nice, and we're allowed to go and visit friends and family since we're here, and, I'm from this town, but nah, Cloud's like, no, we're not doing it. We're going to the inn. We're done. I'm not here to see my family. I'm here to have some sleep, because I'm tired. Wouldn't you be? Traveling in that truck, doing lots of squats. But now, it's time for something very important. It's picture time! So it turns out we were waiting for our guide, and in this case, our guide is younger Tifa, who is wearing the most adorable cowgirl outfit. This outfit is just A+. Very fabulous. And this random village person is just like, can we have a picture? Pictures are cool. We're like, fine. Well, everyone else is excited, but Sephiroth is like, fine. So it's picture time. Woo! Excellent. Picture happened. Ready to go. Let us progress. So they have been sent here by Shinra in order to check the Mako reactor, which is built into the side of Mount Nebel, as apparently it is having errors. So they're here to fix it. It's the equivalent of a nuclear reactor. You don't really like those having problems. The cold mountain air of Mount Nebel was the same. So, but since these mountains are kind of treacherous, we did get a guide, which in this case is Tifa. Hi, Tifa. What up? Hey, girl. Hey. We got this. Let's do it. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, that's what could possibly go wrong. So, apparently, either we tried to put too many people on the bridge at once, or alternatively, it was getting ready to go anyways, and no one safety checks this bridge, both of which are not great ideas. So we fell. That's not good. But at least, Tifa and Cloud are okay, and so Sephiroth and one of 2 troopers. So, this may sound cruel, but we don't have time to go back. So, because apparently whatever is happening at the reactor is critical. Now, we do want to try and avoid encounters where we can, not that they're particularly threatening, but time-consuming. No, stop that. Excellent. It's actually rare that you can run away from the battles. Usually ATB works out in such a way that Sephiroth just, murders them. Because he is the top soldier for a reason. So, lots of things in this flashback, which are like explaining, it's more world building, explaining why this cave is so weirdly colored. Let's talk about Mako. Here's some Mako crystals. Everything is beautiful. So one of the things I mentioned earlier is about, you know, they did the best that they could with the particular sprite rendering that they did back in 1997, but some of it is a little broken, and it becomes even more noticeable in this remake. So watch Tifa's legs in this cutscene. They're a little broken. So they're looking at the natural Mako. How pretty. Look at it. It's materia. The natural materia spring. Or Mako spring, which has materia inside. So Tifa's legs are just kind of broken. Don't worry about it. She's fine. She's tough. She can handle this. And we're almost there. We have almost reached the reactor. Boom, 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 boom. And of course, we're gonna fight the hardest boss in the game, the Stair Boss. So Tifa wants to come in because, you know, Cloud's here, but it's a proprietary equipment, so Tifa is not allowed in. It's top secret. So, however, Sephiroth walks really slow, so we are not gonna stay in this reactor. We are leaving, and we're going back in. Because what that does is it despawns Sephiroth, so we can not get stuck behind him, because we walk so much faster than Sephiroth. Like, it is unreal how much faster we walk than Sephiroth. So we save a lot of time by doing that. Or I wouldn't say a lot of time, but we save time by doing that. Do, 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 do. So we have to go look in this container, or we have to shut down that valve. So you'll notice on my splits there is no end time for the flashback end, and that's because this particular set of splits, which I kindly got from someone else on speedrunslive.com, had a different split there, which I would always forget to hit, so I changed it. But unfortunately, in my PB, I did... I skipped that split, so until I get a new PB, that split is going to forever say blank. So, unless my new PB also skips that one, so hopefully not, but we'll see how that goes. So it turns out that it's not just energy that Shinra is producing in this reactor. It looks like probably Hojo is using Mako and monsters, and it's not looking very good. So Sephiroth's not having a good day. Should probably have warned Cloud before hauling out the sword and starting to hit things, but thankfully, Cloud is a soldier. He's totally okay. He jumped out of that sword's reach, which is impressive because the Masamune is not a small sword. Do, 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 do. And look at those leggings. They're so bright and happy. So probably the only thing happy about that poor monster. It's not having a good day. Am I human? Didn't really understand what Sephiroth meant then. I was even more surprised that Shinra is producing monsters. As you can guess, I can't actually mash past that text. Who would have thunk it? So, if you're casually playing, they're like, would you like to save? That went on for quite a while, but we're speedrunning. We ain't got time for breaks. We gotta keep going. So one thing you might notice on the gate to the Shinra mansion is there's actually a meteor. It's the same meteor which is in the FF7 kind of title. Each one of the Final Fantasy games has a picture behind the actual name, which has something to do with the plot of the game. It's one of the distinguishing features of each of the games, and the one for Final Fantasy VII is that meteor. So it's a little meta and on the nose that they put that right on the Shinra mansion. But there it is. There is the meteor right there. So I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong. So we're here, hanging out in Shinra Mansion, because that's what you do when you're stuck in town. Nothing to do. Just running through. I love these caves. They're such a beautiful color of purple. Hey, Sephi, what up? So he's reading. He's doing some research. Because something a little hinky is going on in this town. So Sephiroth knows the power in education and knowledge. So is reading and researching and finding out as much as he can to try and figure out what exactly is going on. And, you know, of course, one of the things they found in the reactor was something called Genova, which, as far as Sephiroth has been told, is the name of his mother. So a little weird. Sephiroth didn't come out of the Shinra mansion. He continued to read as if he were possessed by something, and not once did the light in the basement go out. Listen, sometimes you just gotta read out the cutscenes, because when you can't mash, that's what you do. So, music's a little ominous, but you know what? Who doesn't feel a little grumpy and kind of terrible when waking up from a nap? Let me tell you, I certainly do. As far as I'm concerned, this is the music which should play after anyone wakes up from a nap. And if you've got kids who are waking up after a nap, oh boy, even worse. But let's go check on Sephiroth. I'm sure he is still there reading, and nothing could possibly go wrong. Okay, he's laughing. There's such thing as funny books. Don't worry about it. Though apparently no. Cloud's a traitor. Cool. So it turns out what his research has told him is that originally a being named Genova came to the planet, and it was part of the planet, and it was part of a race of beings called Cetra, otherwise known as Ancients, a name we've heard before. And she was trying to destroy the planet. So, and since she is Sephiroth's mother, and he has learned he is actually an ancient, or so he thinks, it is now his job to destroy the planet. So, things are not so good, but you know what? I'm sure if we catch up to Sephiroth, everything will be fine. The music got a little creepier, but you know, we're fine. It's great. I gotta say, I really do love the cinematic score to this game and the way they used it in Final Fantasy VII. You see the music kind of transform and progress in timing with the plot. It's fabulous. But it's just a little fire. This is fine. Everything is fine. I'm not sure it's so fine in that house, which is actually Cloud's house, and that trooper not having such a good day down there. Things are just generally, most people in this town are not having a good day, except for Sephiroth. Sephiroth's fine. Look, creepy as heck, but fine. Thank you for nothing, Sephiroth. You just burned Cloud's town down. 'Cause that's a lot of fire. So it is back to the reactor. Good news, we're almost done the flashback, so we're almost back to real gameplay. And well, when I say real gameplay, I mean the fun stuff. Almost there, my friends. First, we've got to confront evil. No, don't go back up. Come on. This scene looks familiar. I think we saw it at the beginning of the game. So, Tifa in her adorable outfit is having the worst sort of day and takes the Mazamune, because that's what you do. Makes sense. So Sephiroth is a little unhinged, but you know. Unfortunately for this story, we have the melee fighter, Tifa. She punches things. She's martial arts. She doesn't use swords, so she wasn't quite aware that she needed to run point first at Sephiroth in order to skewer him, and has in fact given him back his sword. Not so cool. We do have to pick up Tifa in the scene. Unfortunately, we can't just run past her. So, thank you, Tifa, for your valiant service. Gotta go. Because there are bad things up here. So he's like, let's take the plan together. We'll go to the promised land. You're like, this doesn't sound like a good plan, Sephiroth. He's so creepy in this scene. Look at him. But now I'm here with you. So don't worry. Thank you, Sephiroth. It was already creepy, and you made it creepier. Ding, ding. Oh hey, it's the same thing we saw earlier, but it has a head now. Genova. So I will warn everyone watching that there is about to be some flashing. So if you have any sort of sensitivities to flashing lights, I will tell you when to look away. But basically, you're probably safe. Yeah, look away now, and it'll be starting shortly. And I will let you know when you're safe to look back. You are literally missing nothing but flashing. So again, look away, and you'll be allowed to. The flashing will be done momentarily. It's really bright. And we're done! Flashback ends. So if we got our lovely PB on this run, at least we'll have that split filled. So they're like, so what happened? Are you okay? Is Tifa okay? What? And he's like, I don't know what happened. So we really want to select the second option there for Barret. Otherwise, he keeps talking for a while. And Barret, we love you lots, but just go. Just get to the car. We're going to all go on a road trip. But we need to leave now. So everyone's just like, what happened? What a fascinating story. Red, I could not. You have told no more of the truth than you have at this exact moment. But hallelujah, everyone. We got a cell phone. So we're ready to go. Bye. I'm being rude and cutting ahead. Because I'm a nice person like that. Okay, where we go? So it is time to go to our next objective. And I'm sure everyone remembers what you would do in the casual game of this, which is we will be heading to the Chocobo farm because there's a Midgar serpent, and the Zolom, we don't want to deal with that. It hurts. It's mean. But chocobos can outrun them. So you go, you get a chocobo, or you go get a chocobo lure, you go catch a chocobo, and then you run away and you can dodge the Zolom and everything is wonderful, right? Well, you see, we're gonna play this a little differently because we ain't got time for chocobos. Cool though they are. And, oh, sorry, the buttons are fun time. So we're gonna go down to save 5 here. We're gonna do some cool saving. So there's a couple ways to do this, and we're going to try one way, and if that doesn't work, we will abandon and do the second way. Okay, cool. Doing the second way. Excellent. So we're going to do second save here. Okay, so we're going to close the game. We're going to reopen with our save right in the middle of the field. And everything willing. Yeah, the Zolom's all trapped back there, so we're good. So we're gonna also try to, oopsie, gonna try and cutscene skip. Nope. That's frame perfect, so it's really difficult to actually get, even with buffering it, but that's fine. By seeing this cutscene now, we don't have to risk seeing it again if we ever come back to this area, so that's fine. We have made it into the Mithril Mines. Away we go. And who should we find here but everyone's favorite group of business-suited folks, the Turks. But introducing a new Turk to fill in for Rude, or sorry, Reno, who we beat up so heartlessly. We are now introduced to Elena. Hello, Elena. Welcome. We like Elena. She's wonderful. And you know why we like Elena? Other than the fact she's scarily competent and awesome. She likes to tell us what we need to do. And in this case, she's going to tell us about the fact that everyone else is headed, it looks like Sephiroth is who we're chasing, is headed towards Junon Harbor. So I guess we're heading to Junon Harbor. That is our next place to go. Well then, is Zeris with you? No, creep, you hit her once already. That is rude. We're keeping her away from you. Okay, so away we go. So out of the Mithril Mines, but you know what? I don't know. These Mithril Mines, this has been a bit of a hard time, so we're gonna save, and you know what? I think we're gonna do something else. Because those mines, I don't know, they just weren't fun. So instead, you know what was a lot of fun that I think all of us really can come together and say that we all enjoyed? Cutscenes and flashbacks. So, what do you say that we all go together and watch some more flashbacks? I knew you all were together with me in this. Let's do it. And Cloud is never late. He arrives exactly when he means to. And that is in time to see a flashback again. So, let us hope. What this does mean, and what we're hoping for, is that dragon that gave us good RNG the first time will be a nice pal and give us good RNG the second time. Because again, we do not want two scenarios that we do want, sorry. We either want A, Cloud to not be hit, that would be ideal, or B, just as effective, but kind of getting closer to needing our backup plan, which is have Sephiroth be an absolute jerk if Cloud does get hit, and not to bring him back to life. Because Sephiroth will kill the dragon in 2 hits. So, going for 2s here. So let's see how we go. Last battle, for those who missed it, Cloud did get murderized, but Sephiroth chose to be a heartless jerk. So that was fabulous. We really enjoyed that. Let's see if we can go 2 for 2. Lots of 2s associated with this battle. That's kind of fun. Oh, hey! Guess what time it is? Dragon time! So let's see what happens. Don't attack Cloud, don't attack Cloud, don't attack Cloud, rah, 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 rah. Yeah, see? Because he does 0 damage to Sephiroth. So, don't attack Cloud, don't attack Cloud, don't attack Cloud, that is not good. Okay, so we attack Cloud, so don't be good. Excellent. So Sephiroth was heartless twice in a row. Mwah. Beautiful. Thank you, Sephiroth. That was what we wanted. Because again, we cannot lose that battle because you saw exactly how much damage Sephiroth took from a hit, which is consistent across the board. However, we can waste time by being lifed in that battle. So, especially when Sephiroth 2 hits, done with that battle. But we did it! So once again, we're going to reminisce. Hometowns, blah blah blah, Genova Mother, blah blah blah. Weird laughing, because somehow that's funny. Okay, and of course, my favorite part. Never gets old. Whee! It's just so perfect. Barret has so many questions, and he would really just like someone to answer them. And Tifa, once again, has no time for his nonsense and is like, can you ask them later? We're trying to listen. Tifa's really... Both of those people need to have a talk. Work their things out. See where all of this pent-up aggression comes from Tifa. But we only need one lookout. And hey, we can go visit our friends and family if we want. But you know what? We still don't want to visit our friends and family. We're staying in an inn with the great General Sephiroth. Why would we go visit our family? Seriously. Yeah, let's get a nap. Okay, now, this is where things hopefully get a little nicer. We're going to do some cool things here. So, and we couldn't do this the first time because we needed to do a thing. So we're going to come back up here. We're going to, whoop. No, I didn't quite get there. That's fine. Oh, so close. No, Sephiroth, please. So, as you can probably guess, we're doing the same sort of skip as we did earlier, where we're trying to trigger a movement text box at the same time as a press the button text box. And we are trying to do, what is it called? The picture skip. And picture skip is a lot more finicky. It's even more finicky than Barret Skip. It is really picky because you have to get it exactly the right angle to be able to both talk to our friend the photographer here and to be able to move in such a way that Sephiroth will scold us and tell us to come over here. We got it. So, broke the text box. Do you think they'd let me take a picture? Maybe. So we're going to use that. Usually, Sephiroth tries to scold us and tell us to calm down and wait, but we ain't got time for waiting. We have to go. We have places to be. So, I'm sure this isn't going to make anything go weird. I'm sure everything is just fine. The cold air of Mount Nebel was the same. Yeah, I think it was, too. This feels a little familiar. That's okay. We got our 2 guards, we got Cloud, we got Sephiroth, and there's Tifa. So we're totally cool, right? We're gonna leave Tifa there. She's fine. No, go back. Don't do it, Cloud. So Cloud ain't got time for that. We're gonna hang out here. This is a lot more fun. And as you can see, because we did that skip, Cloud is by himself. And I'm not sure if you remember just how squishy Cloud was earlier, but Cloud's really quite squishy right now. Oh no! We died! How completely and totally unexpected and definitely not planned. Well, since we died like that, we're gonna have to load our other save. We're just not gonna be able to do flashbacks right now, so you know what? Let's progress with the plot. Enough with that messing about. Let's go do it. Hey, it's Fort Condor. That's cool. We like Fort Condor. It's shiny. Oh hey, we're getting back attacked by something that just wants to hug us. How nice. Doesn't hurt us for much. And you know what's great no matter whether you're front attack or back attacked? Grenades. They're beautiful. Everyone loves grenades. Except for that guy. That enemy does not like grenades so much. Oh hey! Look where we are. So what we did, and this is the trick which is only can be done on the HD remaster PC version, and that is we are doing weird warps. So we're doing save manipulation and corruption. So what we have done is we have we went into an area we shouldn't have been able to be in. We died in an area we shouldn't have been able to die in. And then we loaded up our save and fought a battle. And by doing that, the game's like, okay, what are we supposed to be doing here now? And sent us to the point of the game where it thinks we're supposed to be. Okay, everything's still good. And so it sent us to back to Nibelheim, except with my actual party. So that's cool. So I'm doing some very specific setup here. What I am doing is incredibly important. So excuse me for a moment while I focus up. Poison, restore. We want to make sure that we drink. We want to be very sad. So our Phoenix our high potion is there. So we're going to arrange things by type. Beautiful. And we are going to save. And we're going to save because this next boss can actually one-shot us as soon as we start. If it opens up with the with the ability Trine, that is just reset, we are done. Okay, so we're checking for a specific stat for Eris, and now, everyone, let us kill a boss by math. Let's hope it plays ball. Bio. Nope, boss. Bio the boss. Okay, magic, cure. So I'm gonna focus up while I do very particular things. Yes, excellent. So that's turn 1 done. We're getting that poison tick. So we're doing this a wait trick. We're doing this on wait, so it's a different series of actions than you would if this was done on active. And we needed Eris to be at a particular strength and not to get extra levels, because we need her to attack for a very specific amount of HP right now. There we go, 13. So, very important. Come on, Materia Keeper. I gotta pause for a second because we just, thing, potion. I think I've done 2 potions. Well, we're gonna risk it because we got it. Sorry, sometimes you're concentrating so hard, you just get a little mixed up. So we purposely reset Eris's limit because we need her to not get her limit gauge before hitting the boss. Oh no, that boss just hit us for 7777. What was that? And then it died. So what we did is there is a status effect in this game called Lucky Sevens, where if you have an HP value of 7777, then you will do damage. All of your hits will be for 7777 HP. But you know what that also includes? Poison ticks. So what we did is we purposely made sure that boss was poisoned, and then we got its HP to a value of 7777, and it killed itself. So it killed itself with poison. So if you can get the timing just perfect, you can have it do that without killing a character with the 7777. But the bonus of killing a character that way is you know you've done it correctly. So everything is pretty fabulous. So we're just going to do a quick safety save here. This is a legit safety save. Because safety saving is a great thing to do. Okay. We are also going to... sorry, Eris, we love you very much, but please get out. We're gonna... sorry. We're gonna item. We're gonna Phoenix down. Then we're gonna tent. Then we're gonna make sure everyone is sad, because we're having that sort of day. We're gonna arrange, customize. We don't want potions. What I do want are grenades. And then we're gonna, come here. Then we're gonna move that gem ring out of the way. And I think we're gonna do one last thing where we are gonna just do this. Excellent. Oh, and give the counterattack. Cool. So we are just about ready to go. We're gonna save again because safety. Okay, cool. So you always save after the Materia Keeper boss, just to note, because you can get a pincer attack, and with the state of your party here, you don't want that to happen. Bad nonsense happens. So, we're all set up, so we are gonna get ready to go. We are here now in Rocket Town. But we've got a few things to do. First off, we're gonna talk to this lovely gentleman here who is just admiring the rocket. So you know what? I think we're gonna admire that rocket too. It looks a little hinky. It's just kind of tilted there. I'm sure it has a rich history and backstory. We're just gonna observe it. Look at its beauteous nature. But what we're really looking for is that sword. So that sword is the Yoshiyuki, and it is particularly beautiful because what it does for us is it ensures that any for every party member who is dead, Cloud's attack increases. So there's no particular reason why we want something like that or need to know that. We're gonna murderize some people. It's gonna be bad. So, but while we're really here, is we are looking for the tiny Bronco, and we're looking for that because we need it to fly to go to our next destination, which I'm sure they'll tell us at some point. Don't worry about it. So it turns out Rufus Shinra is also here because through all of that stuff we've been skipping around, Rufus, we're all kind of chasing Sephiroth. We're all trying to figure out where Sephiroth is, what Sephiroth is doing, and we're trying to stop Sephiroth because, as he's kind of already proven, he's a little unhinged right now and not in a good headspace. So we kind of want to stop him from doing lots of damage. So you have to go and talk to Shara there first, because if you come to the rocket first, Sid will be like, who are you? Who are you? What year is this? What is happening? Oop, get out of the menu. Talk to Sid, please. But since we have talked to Shara, we know that the captain here, C, as we'll name him, is hanging out here. So we're like, can you please tell us about this rocket? We love stories. So please tell us about it. So one of the fun things about Rocket Town is all the cutscenes. So Sid's sad story is that he was going to go up to space with his beautiful rocket that we're in. And unfortunately, things did not go so well, and the launch failed. And so now his only hope is to talk to President Shinra, who just coincidentally is here, so he can hopefully get some more funding so he can reach space. That is his dream. Sid wants to go to space. So, well, that's cool. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna see what we can do, because he may want to go to space, but we want the tiny Bronco. That is incredibly important to us. Do 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 do. So we're gonna head back in here. Excuse me, C. So if you're playing this safe or have any particular worries about the next battle, you need to make sure you do a save before you come into this house, because the instant you come into this house for the second time and you start this series of cutscenes, you are trapped in like a 5 or 6 minute series of cutscenes, which will immediately feed you into a boss battle. So let me tell you, from when I was learning this run, there is nothing less fun than going through billions of cutscenes and fighting a boss and dying and having to go through all of that again, including the setup before the cutscenes, because unfortunately the cutscenes are unavoidable if you die, but all the setup beforehand isn't. So it is also one of the reasons I have left I've purposely left the battle speed in wait. So not inactive, because it makes the next battle with Palmer a lot safer. Palmer, though, as a personality is a bit of a joke, is not a very nice boss at all. And this is actually going to be the next boss where we make use of the poison materia. Now, it's not as important as it was in the Materia Keeper fight, where it's absolutely mandatory. But here, providing we can get that poison proc off earlier rather than later, can really assist us in getting through this battle successfully. We can still do it even without that, but we're hoping to get it earlier. Again, we got really lucky with Materia Keeper, because while we can control our actions in the battle, whether we get that poison proc right away it's random. So I've had Materia Keepers battles end where it was literally the last possible cast I could do, because I was out of MP otherwise, did the proc. So usually it's not that bad, but sometimes Materia Keeper's just like, nah, I'm not in the mood to be poisoned. And Palmer, the next boss, can be the same. Palmer can just be like, what's this poison you talk about? So as you may have noticed, I also equipped the counterattack materia on Cloud. So between, and gave him back the restore materia, I believe, I hope. So between those and the high potions we purchased, that gives us a lot of safety. Palmer has a weapon called the Mako gun, which is all he uses, which is very powerful since we're really weak coming into this section of the game. So that'd be bad. We don't like it at all, and we want to dodge that as much as possible. So we're going to hope everything works out for us. I'm not actually 100% positive I put that restore materia back on Cloud, but we'll be okay if not. We have those high potions, so what could possibly go wrong? Doom, 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 doom. So Sid's not very nice to Shara. According to him, he stopped the launch because she was trying to fix what she believed was a problem. And so he had to cancel the launch or risk her dying from the launch itself. She would have burned off and take off. So we're not going to get to that point in the game, but later in the game, spoilers, you determined there was actually a problem, and had she not fixed it, they all would have died in the rocket, or Sid would have died. So Shara saving the day. It's no excuse for him to be so rude, though. So, if we want to use the Bronco, let's go talk to Palmer, who's just hiding here in the back. So, it is time. Let's see how our favorite Shinra manager is. So, he calls for security. Let's do this. So, key thing we want to do here, we want to get that poison tick off. We're going to use that limit. And, yeah, I did put Cure on. That's lovely. I like having Cure. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Not so good, but we didn't get the poison tick, so, oh, where did my high potions go? Thank you, high potions, for not going where you're supposed to go. That's, hopefully that's going to Barret. As you can see, targeting is great. Oh, good, he got the poison tick. So, we're gonna, actually, what we're gonna do, Cloud, gonna cure himself, and, from there, we can use some grenades. I've learned a thing here today, that, apparently, those high potions won't just go into an empty spot. Duly noted. No, we're fine. We're gonna punch. So after we get a few poison ticks in on Palmer, we are free to let both Red and Barret die. Because we're heartless monsters. Bye. Blam. Okay, that's fine. You do what you want to Red. It's Cloud we need to live. I would like you to attack Red at some point, please. No, not Cloud. Stop that. Well, we're gonna use a Braver, so that's nice. Ding, 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 ding. I really need him to kill Red. We do have backup plans if Red does not get killed, but we would really like Red to die here. Slap. Come on. Excellent. That was what we wanted. Slap. Now we need the poison here because we hit a point where we're just kind of sitting here curing. Because it is vitally important that we don't die. And this is where the counter materia really comes into handy. Because we have the potential to counter any one of these. Plus, there are poisons happening, so... There he goes. So that is the end of Palmer. We have successfully killed both Red 13 and B, which is fabulous, and C is good. If the battle takes long enough, then Palmer will actually just stop attacking. There comes a point in the battle where Palmer's just like, meh, whatever. Oh no, death by truck. This is why you must look where you're going before you cross the road, folks, please. Okay, good. This is fab. This is exactly what we wanted. We're back into Easy Peasy Town now. Or Easier Peasier Town. But this is also where the run starts to get even more fun than it was. If you thought this stuff was bananas earlier, just keep watching, folks. Just keep watching. This is where the run degenerates and just deteriorates, and you're like, what? So, just, well, as you can see from my splits, we're going to fight Mylon Z, so... Who, for those who are not familiar, is from Final Fantasy IV, though that particular name is from the US release, but I'll explain once we get there. Bye, Rufus. You wanted this plane? No can have, but apparently Sid can run as fast as a plane, and he got it. I can't mash in this section. The tail's been hit. You always know which C is talking by the one who's swearing and the one who's not. Sid is a class act, let me tell you. I love Sid. I don't like how Sid treats Shara, but I like Sid. Barret's my favorite. Other than, you know, Rufus. So, even though this particular plane will no longer fly, thankfully, it still will move around in the shallows. So that is fabulous because, according to the plot, we are going to the Temple of the Ancients. And thankfully, the Temple of the Ancients is reached by these shallow areas. So we're super ready for that. So let's go on an adventure. Let's go on a fake boat plane adventure to our destiny. No, go through there. So we're getting close to one of my chat's favorite parts. Well, I'll explain it a little more when I get there. Stuff's gotta go a little bananas first, but we have our biggest section of RNG coming up. We have 2 separate battles that we are going to be searching for, and I have no control over when they come up, so we're gonna have a guessing game. The guessing game is more for the first battle than the second battle, but the earlier the second battle shows up, the better stuff is for us. There we go. So, you know what? We weren't really in the mood to go to the Temple of Ancients anyway, so... Hey, Midgar, what up? Now, you gotta be careful not to get too close to Midgar, because we can actually... You can go inside Midgar, and if you do... ooh, that's not good. That's actually really bad. I think we're okay, though. Oh, wait, this is, like, first place. Oh, God. Please run. Well, this is... Oh, gosh. Okay, so also remember to cure yourself. That's really important. Because dying to a random encounter in the first place is just embarrassing. Anyways, so if you go back inside of Midgar during the sequence, we didn't leave it properly the first time. So you would have to watch those cutscenes again. Or attempt to do the Barret Skip again. And the thing about doing the Barret Skip is it does fully cure your party. So that is bad, and we don't want that. Now, had either Barret or Red 13 lived through the previous battle with Palmer, then we would have, I would have shoved whoever was still alive into the front row during these battles, and we would have purposely killed them off between any leftover grenades we might have had, letting enemies, and just by punching them. So thankfully, though, it does take a bit of time, but is important to do. So once again, we are going to... do our safety saves here so we can get past our beautiful Zolom. Because our friend did not leave just because we did. Oh boy. Nope, Zolom's in the wrong spot, so we're gonna... I think I can make it, but I'm gonna play it safe here, and we're gonna do our save here, so just in case the Zolom does catch us. Yeah, that's fine. Because we did the save, which is the way we're going to make it anyways, so that did not lose us any time. So, away we go, because again, that resets the position, and because we saw the cutscene earlier, There's no cutscene here. Why would we need to? We've seen it already. But had I actually successfully skipped that cutscene the first time, it would still be there. The trigger would still be there, so we'd have to watch it again, which is... we ain't got time for that. Doom, 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 doom. Crab battle! These crabs are even scarier. I bet these are the ones that snake vomit. Anyways. Speaking of old memes. Old memes for old games, so... what up, my friends? So, this is a fun time. Are you having fun? I'm having fun. So we're just gonna go a little bit further than we did previous. This forest looks like a cool place to save. So we're gonna overwrite our save here. And you know what? We don't want to do that anymore. Last time we did the flashback though, and that was really fun. That was a cool time. But you know what would be even cooler? Motorcycle game. Because who doesn't like doing mini games again, especially motorcycle ones? And I showed you how easy it was last time, so it's not exactly like it's a challenge. So let's go do this. Show you once again how you rock this game. Oh no, we're surrounded. Oh no. Didn't say a thing. Not a word. Ding, ding. Yeah, don't worry about where C is. So once again, we're going to watch this beautiful cutscene. Look at it go. I'm going to tilt my chair a little bit. 'Cause that's the thing I can do. I'm adjusting to a new chair. It's fun. Okay. Baby. Got nothing else to do in the cutscene. You gotta dance. Hope everyone's dancing with me. Okay, I gotta stop dancing now, because we gotta do the real thing. Let's rock this minigame. That's what you do when you got a bike. You take your sword, and you rock it. So, as I explained earlier, all the different motorcycles of different colors have different AI patterns. So, the ones which are red, if we don't do anything to them, or if we just keep swinging our sword, they will stay behind us. Which we're definitely going to do at some point. No, you get up there. Come on. Definitely plan to do that. We're fine. They're fine. Look, they're taking a bit of damage, but, you know, they're supposed to be heroes. If they can't take a little bit of damage, what is the point of this, really? Also, I think what I'm actually demonstrating is how difficult it is to actually lose this particular minigame. No, come over here. Come on. Come on. Come back here a little bit, would you? Yeah, that's what we want. Hit Barret 2. No, hit Barret 2. Come on. Thank you. So as I'm sure you guessed, I'm purposely trying to injure my party. No, don't attack me. See, the blue ones chase Cloud. The brown ones chase the car. The red ones stay behind you if you're doing things. No, hit Barret. Hit Barret. Okay, cool. Now hit me. I want to be part of the party now. No, they hogged all the fun. Now it's my turn. No, hit me. Hit me. No. No. See, you can just try and get in the way and you just, you know, accidentally body the motorcycle. Oops. Oopsie doodle. Oh hey, it's new ones. Hello friends. Play with me on a motorcycle, 'cause that's what we do. Ding, ding. Oh look at that, that's nice. Oh no, come back, brown ones. We had a nice thing going, why did you have to die like that? That's rude. Actually, no, rude's out somewhere. Ugh. So yeah, we're purposely murdering some party members here. Because as I mentioned when I fought it the first time, how much damage you come into this battle, you get in that minigame actually reflects onto this particular boss battle. So as you can see, B and T are having a very bad day. But they're fine. Don't worry about it. What could possibly go wrong, right? It's not like this boss... Oh. Well, darn. That's less than fortunate. Wait, who did I just target? Well, that's not super. Oh well, fine. Whatever. We died. Fine. So, we died, so you know what? Let's stop mucking about. Let's continue on. So, we are going to play the ever wonderful game of how many times does it take us to find Yuffie? Anything below 10 is a good number. Anything below 20 is not great, but not awful. And anything above 20 is truly the worst RNG. So that's 1. We're at 1. This is the time where I usually ask my chat what their numbers is. I have a wonderful regular who likes to... guess 48, which I have not yet received. I actually haven't gone up as far as 20, but this is the biggest point of RNG, because depending on how it's completely RNG, and depending on how quickly Yuffie chooses to show up, we could be here a while. So we're at one battle. One battle without Yuffie showing up. Come on, Yuffie. Yuffie, my darling. We love you. Please come to hang. We have all this materia and we got it just for you. Pretty sure that's the wrong. Yeah, depending on there's a particular pan, camera pan for when it's the Yuffie battle, and it's very similar to the blue impulse pan, so sometimes I get confused with it. And you always want to keep above at least 300, but for safety, keep higher before going into these battles, because as you can see, I was at full HP, and they're just like, hey, what up? I heard you like getting punched. Well, do we have a job for you? So that was 2. Nope, that's 3. It isn't 3. Oh, they didn't hit me at all. I don't think that's ever happened. That's good luck. That's bad. We don't want good luck now. We want good luck to get Yuffie. Not good luck to not get hit. Uh-oh. Okay, come on, 4. 4. No, that's the blue impulse battle. Bah, I tell you, bah. So we've still got the counterattack materia, so sometimes Cloud's gonna be like, oh hey, what up? What up, friends? We are friends. Friends. Okay, so that's 4. 4 battles, not Yuffie. Come on. Nope, that's 5. 5, it's not her. We really would like it to be her real soon. Okay, come on, 6. I'm guessing 7. Someone in my chat has also guessed 7. Oh, that's it. 6. 6 is the winner. Love it. Sometimes it works. So 6, we're actually doing not awful. We're not doing great, but we're not doing awful. So, as usual, when you want to recruit Yuffie, you have to defeat her in battle. And see, her eyes have gone a little funny. Anyways, you defeat her in battle, and then you go through a series of prompts. What? Oh, hi, Motorball! So this is why this battle is called Mylanzi, because we are in a back attack with a battle with a boss who we thought was dead, but is not as dead as we thought. We have to, in fact, fight them again, which is a reference to Mylanzi. Mylanzi isn't actually in this battle. So, hi. We are much stronger because both we have party members dead, and we're just stronger than we were when we first fought this battle. So, hello, Motorball. What up? So, Motorball only has about, I think it's 2,600 HP, so this battle does not take very long, especially when Cloud is nice and actually counterattacks. I'm gonna cure the next one. You do still gotta be a little careful. You can die in this battle, which means you'll have to find Yuffie again, which is not so fun. So, I should be fine, but I'm gonna play it safe because I don't like dying. Huge fan. Huge fan of not dying. Because all you have to do is do that cure once, and you're fine. Like, look, I'm so safe right now. Doodly-doo. One more hit, I believe, and then that is sayonara to Motorball. Now, this is the attack which really hurts. It does a heck of a lot of damage, but we cured, so we're fine. One more, apparently. That's rude. That's not very nice. I'm very glad I cured right now, I'll be honest. I'll be very honest with you, I'm very happy I cured. Slam! Goodbye to Motorball or Milan Z. Ba 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 ba. Do 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 do. Now, why would we want, of all places, why would we wanted to have warped back to Midgar? We were out of Midgar. We were free and clear. Well, my friends, I will show you why. So what we did is actually called a Yuffie warp. So it's the same concept as the particular warp, the regular save warp we did earlier. So this category is often called the Yuffie warp category because we are using not just Yuffie, but we are, in one case, using the fight with Yuffie to kind of bounce around. So again, we fight in a battle, or sorry, we fight and die in a battle. We load a save, which is in a different spot, and fight a battle, and then we warp back to that previous one. So, but it does mean we have to do picture skip again. Oh, not quite. Let's stay here for a while. Or not picture skip, sorry, we gotta do Barret Skip again. And unlike the first time where it was kind of optional, it is absolutely mandatory here. We will soft lock if we do not get it here. Mashed too fast. Oh yeah. Home I don't know. Then let's go. Bye. Tulu, my friends. So we're gonna go a little different way though, because oh hey, that looks convenient. Thank you to the nice person who left this very random ship waiting here for us. How convenient is that? So we're gonna run around and do a couple things here, but we are getting to the finale and the absolute climax of this run. So the biggest part of RNG is done, but there is still a little bit more left. We have one of two battles out of the way, but we do still have one more to go, though Yuffie is the trolliest by far. Yuffie is mean, and she likes to not like us a lot. There's Rocket Town in the background. That means we're almost to our first destination on this particular trip. This is the inlet I want. So what I'm about to do is incredibly important. Very, very, very important. And we're doing this to prevent a soft lock. So right now, I can't move. You can see I'm moving my buttons and nothing is happening. So, but we're not actually soft locked. We're just temporarily frozen while the game kind of figures out. It's like, what is happening? Why are you here? So, Sephiroth is here though, reassuring us that it may sound cruel, but we don't have time to search for the lost soldier. A little weird, but without doing that, we will actually soft lock our future shenanigans. So it is actually super important that we do that. And now we are going for our second battle. So we're going to be looking for a very particular battle here, and we need to get it in order to progress. So the sooner we get it, the faster this run will finish. So we are going to get off there, and we're going to save though. We're going to do a quick save because this run's going really well, and I don't want to jinx it, to be perfectly honest. Actually, we're going to just plink down to the wrong thing. We're going to save real quick, too. I mean, cure. So we're just going to hang out here. So we're looking for a battle. Hello, battle. Hey, Gold Saucer, what up? So we're looking for a particular battle, and all we need to do is find it. We don't even need to beat it. We just need to find it. So it doesn't matter what we find, we're running away. Now, the reason I saved is because of these monsters. They're really random in what they like to do to you, and one of the things they can do is instant death. And I have not yet had it happen in a run, but I think it just happened. Actually, I think that was, yeah. Oh god, it missed. That is the first time it's even happened to me in a run, and it missed. But that's why I saved. So, no big deal. But we're fine. Not the encounter we're looking for, though. But it is scary. And that's what we're looking for. 1 Spencer, 3 flat beats. Or is it 1 flat beat and 3? I think it's 1 Spencer and 3 flat beats. Anyways, it's that encounter we're looking for. And after that, we're just gonna hang out on the beach. Because you know what's fun? The beach. Everyone loves the beach. So we were looking for that particular encounter for a very specific reason. And you'll see exactly what that reason is as soon as I find a battle here. But of course, it doesn't want to give me anything because we're waiting for it. But I do have to complete this battle. I can't just skip out like I did previous. We actually gotta fight this. But with 2 dead party members in the Yoshiyuki and the counterattack materia, we're doing just okay. We're doing just fine. So we have done it. We have defeated that battle. So, welcome everybody to the debug room. So what a debug room is, while I go through some very specific things, hey Vincent, what up? It is a room which used to get entered into a lot of games, and it's used for programmers to test different things out. And before the game is ready to go. So, hold on a sec. Menu on, full name, and full materia. So, but what we did is by fighting that particular, finding that particular battle, and then running away. Oopsie. Oh my gosh. Stop. Everyone just stop. Yes, by running away and then beating that battle on the beach. That was found to bring us to the debug room. You get in there. Okay. So we want to just do some equipping. Don't worry about that, you know, casual ultimate weapon. We got there. That's all very normal. So we don't want that counterattack materia still there. It's very bad at this point. But we do want double cut. Double cut's kind of cool. No, we don't want you yet. Hi, what up? Come back. Oop, we're going up too far. Getting lost in my own inventory, so that's cool. We'll come back to you now. We want steel up there, and master magic up here, or down there, and that's pretty cool. That's actually, hold on a sec. Actually, I'm not even sure we need that, but we're doing it anyways! So what else we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to our lovely Yuffie here. And we're gonna go to this cool battle 999, so... which is just a bunch of triangles. Cool. We don't like triangles. Kill the triangles! Do-do-do. Well, that's a lot of experience. Well, I like that so much, I think we're gonna do that again. So what we're doing is we're specifically getting experience not only to level up our party, because we were grossly underleveled, but we are ensuring that we just leveled up that steel materia that Vincent had, which is so important. So important. No, get out of there. I don't want to talk to you. Because then we're going to give him the death penalty now, because now that we don't need to level that up anymore, we're good to go. And we're going to switch here, and we're going to talk to Cool Cowgirl here. And we're going to Laz 4-4. Welcome, my friends, to the last boss rush of the game. Let's see how it goes. Genova, no. So this is a very special reason we needed to level up that steel materia for Vincent. And I'm going to show it off here now. So what happens is when you kill an enemy with Mug, it triggers a glitch which cancels all battle animations. And so the beautiful thing about that is bosses which sometimes take a really long time to die instantly. And you're also going to notice the cutscenes we have here are the same cutscenes as the beginning of the game. And even though this game does not work on discs, which is why the save warping works the way it does, it still goes to the spot in the game's memory where it thinks we are. So it thinks that we're in this game's equivalent of the first disc. So when it's looking for the cutscenes, it is going there to look for the cutscenes. So we're getting all the first disc cutscenes, which is fabulous. Now that Mug glitch is really going to come into effect in the next couple battles because these next two battles die very slowly, and so now they're not. They're going to die incredibly quickly once we do defeat them. So we're ready to go. So, one of the things we also do frequently is usually I will put us, and in any sort of marathon, I will have this as a donation incentive, which is to use Omni Slash on the final Sephiroth that we will fight, because there's three Sephiroths we're about to fight, and so the third and final one in the game, usually it's mandatory you kill it by using that. So hold on a second, I'm going to focus on this boss, and then I'll continue. Okay, we're purposely waiting for Bizarro energy because we don't want to, for Sephiroth to cure. So, yes, so Omni Slash, usually, no matter what you do in the third form of Sephiroth, you use Omni Slash to win. That's great. But there is a way, the speedrun way, which I'm going to show you now, where you don't have to. If you just, yeah, I'll show you and you won't use Omni Slash. Because I'm on PB pace, and this isn't a marathon, we are not going to use Omni Slash, because I want that PB. I can taste it, and I need it. And yeah, but usually we would, I can choose to use Omni Slash, and it is a beautiful, wonderful donation incentive because who doesn't love Omni Slash? So, this is the final boss, as it were. We're gonna, oh, actually, I need you. Because Sephiroth's about to put up a wall, and we don't like that. Okay, cool. You thought you were gonna wall? So cute. Okay, we're all set up. Now we are just waiting for Sephiroth to realize that he is dead. This form of Sephiroth. We do still have one more battle. And again, since we used the Mug glitch, battle's over. No long cutscenes, nothing like that. So we just have to mash through this series of texts to get to our final Sephiroth. So in this final Sephiroth, there are two choices. You either do the obvious option, which is to counter immediately with the Omni Slash it gives you. However, should you choose to do nothing in this battle, Sephiroth will attack you, you were guaranteed to survive, and then you will counter. When you are not using Mug and the Mug glitch, you will automatically counter with Omni Slash. However, in this sequence, because we defeated the last Sephiroth with Mug glitch, the Mug glitch is still active. So that cancels the animation. So, provided we don't choose to Omni Slash, when Cloud counters in this upcoming battle, he will just counter regular. He won't counter with Omni Slash, and of course, much faster to do. So I will not show off Omni Slash, but you will see the option to do Omni Slash, which again, wonderful donation incentive, and one that I will offer for this run. But no, we're just going to sit here and let the game finish itself. Time is on the last hit to Sephiroth. So slam, time. And that is a personal best for me, which I will submit onto Speedrun Live. So look for that when you see this run. So this has been my run of Final Fantasy VII PC, any percent free FPS. So thank you so much. I hope you will consider and accept my run into your marathon. It's definitely super entertaining, and as you can see, there's lots of fun glitches, and it's a really fun time. And it's Final Fantasy VII, which is incredibly nostalgic for so many people. So thank you, and good night.